It is time for some pre-stream shenanigans. Try to get stuff set up. Hello to those I see in the waiting room. Doing camera and sound checks. So if you're here now, you're free to ask questions, but just know it'll be a few minutes before I actually technically kick stuff off. But you're here a bit early, so not a big deal. Hang out, chill, chat. Oh, okay. You might hate this part. Hold on. This is a test on levels. Test on levels. Okay, good. Hey, Nico. I guess technically I could keep these private and do all my stream checks before I go live. Hey, Alex, but I figure if you guys don't mind hearing me do mic checks and test cameras and lighting, then I don't mind answering questions while I do that. Man, I've been struggling with this camera. I don't understand it. Somebody noticed that when I was scrolling through chat to answer questions is when it bugged out. But there's a couple times I saw it bugged out when I was legit playing, so I don't know what it's doing. I still suspect it has to do potentially with the shutter speed because it's technically a lower light situation. It's hard to tell just because the way I have the lighting set up in here. But if the shutter speed doesn't understand how to sync to that, then it can cause lagging. Hey, Nick. Hey, Paris. Oh, from Argentina. Hell yeah. Yeah, I laugh because there are streamers I watch that are like more energetic, and I don't know if I'm just too old now. But I'm very much the cozy gamer. I even play cozy games. I didn't get a chance to do Fantasy Life with the kids today because we ended up watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and so we did that instead. But yeah, I will sit back and do like a crafting game or whatever have you. Kurogane, hello, welcome. We're just doing all the pre-stream checks, so bear with me while I'm just doing the tech checks, but feel free to post questions and chat. This is like the chill zone for the moment. Yeah, I don't know if anyone here has seen a YouTuber called Trent the Traveler. Has nothing to do with Gacha gaming, but he drives around the country in a converted, I don't know, like van type thing, and he also does streaming for games. But he's his whole saying is cozy, 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 and he's very much the vibe that I am, I think, where it's like very chill. TJ, hello. All right, I'm gonna pull the game up because I need to log into it first. Hold on. I was on my phone because I was trying to advance the story off stream because to the extent that I can, I try to keep story spoilers away, but obviously if you come to a stream, you are likely to eventually hit a story part with me. So sorry about that. Showtime. What's up, sir? All right, I think I am officially in. You guys can see my screen, and everyone, I'm assuming, can hear, it seems like. Enjoying with a bottle of Coke. I've got a cinnamon apple tea, and I've got a soda water, which I'm sure I'll eventually have to replace at some point in time. All right. And I'll wait till later, because I know people like to see this kind of stuff, but I did manage to run the anime scenes off stream, because again, I didn't want to get copyright strikes for those. And so I've got at least one more poll for the beginner banner. Now I'm only about halfway with that to pity, so I'm not necessarily expecting big things on it. Who knows? I'm hoping to get Rin, and if not Rin, the consolation prize I'm really looking for is Leo. So we shall see. We shall see. And I did want to check just where I am and stuff like this. So, see, the best thing would be to get Leo because I would instantly bring him up and his weapon. I have his 4-star. I don't have his 5-star. I can work on this. I'm getting close to getting my other selector. So I can get Ryuji from the banner select and Mona from this, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. So I will pretty soon have all three of our Phantom Thieves. Those memory scenes, they are cool. I like how they did that. And you know what's funny? If you played on any of the other servers, they used to have it that while it's playing, you could type and like put comments up. And I think they got rid of it because, as you could imagine, on the internet, not everybody is going to jump in and say the kindest things. And so I think for global, they must have said, you know what, we're not throwing this out there. So there's a whole feature, as minor as it may be, that was removed. And that is the ability to, we'll just say make unnecessary comments, and we'll leave it at that. Yeah, I still play mouse and keyboard. Oh yeah, yeah, you saw that, Doctor. You know what I'm talking about. Anyone who has played the other versions has experienced that firsthand. Sometimes people being despicable is entertaining. I wouldn't say I justify it or think it's the right thing, but it's curious to see that people have that brazen approach to certain things. Yeah, see, my thing is I'm not going to be able to progress, to get this weapon for quite some time. Although I know a couple people, I think Bladesifer is already in Plan 2. We were talking, he was like just in the Discord chatting with like the community a little bit ago, and I was in there for a few minutes at least. And so I think he's already in here. This minecart, is this, somebody told me that this is a selector. Yeah, so the other reason I want to push into Plan 2 is if I can finish step 1, then worst case scenario, I can get Homeboy in here, and then I'll have, Leo. So I'm not far off from getting everything I want except for Rin. Rin is the only thing that in the immediate future has to be pure luck. But worst case, further down the road, I can get her from, not here, that's the wrong banner, from this one. So I have a path to get everybody I want from the start of the game, so I'm really happy about that, largely just due to luck of pulling others. Let's see. Can I ask if you would be making a video about what persona should we build? So Kuragane, that came up quite a few times on the stream earlier today, and so it is one of the videos that I think I'll make in the more immediate future. There's a couple others I have in mind as well. And so, matter of fact, I'm going to write, I carry a notepad with me because I'm old. And my wife makes fun of me because she's like, why don't you just do this on your phone? But I don't know. Say what it is. So this is the what personas to build. So I think what I'll do with that is I'll probably do it in 2 to 3 parts. Probably like 4 parts. So part 1 would be like up to level 30. Part 2 would be like the stage 3, 4. And then after that, you kind of start approaching endgame. So I'd either make a final endgame one or one that gets you to the endgame and then later on endgame. Because we're all going to be, unless you're rushing the game and like burning stamina pots, you're not going to be worried about the level 80 personas for quite a few weeks. It doesn't look like they did anything to open up the XP, on global launch like they currently have in the other servers. But I don't want the videos to be these, 45-minute Netflix marathons that you have to go through. I think I'd rather try to get them into that 20-ish minute range as much as I can, 20 to 30 minutes max. And so if I split it into like a part 1, part 2, part 3, I think that will help you. And then also it gives a chance for, if you're already past level 20, you could just skip that video. As much as I want everyone to watch videos, I also don't necessarily feel like that should be an obligation you feel pressured for. So if I can split it up, hopefully that will help you. Which they could switch movement to arrow keys. Yeah, I'm surprised there's not more key binding. I thought there was some. Let me check. But I don't know how deep it goes. Let's see. Yeah, so you can do some key binding here. Can you not? Oh, yes, yeah, so they don't let you change WAS. That's stupid. I wonder why that is. Swap to running? Huh. Well, I guess I already hit shift to go into running, so I'm not sure why that would matter. Yeah, I don't know. Just hit 30. Nice. Yeah, once you hit 30, it's like you start getting more side quests again. And there's a couple pockets of either levels or stories. So like if you get to a certain part in a palace, for example, where all of a sudden you're going to get some extra side quests. So I don't think the game is great at telling you that it happens, but check your missions periodically. So you'll see I have a couple extra. And then something else that happens, and you don't notice if you don't pay attention, because like I knew that there was like another screen to scroll to, is like this memories thing unlocked. And this is that whole anime thing we were talking about that I can't show on a stream. But, check for little things. They'll open up some stuff in here, and they're not always great about telling you. I mean, they mostly are. It's not like a hard criticism of any sort, but something to kind of keep in mind. Let me clear out some of this stuff and get my like 5 jewels here, 5 jewels there. Synergy. Does this mean I can level? Oh, it's because I just did a scene with him. This is wonderful. So now I can like insta kill things that are lower level than me. Just found out second weekly boss isn't available into the next content update. Yeah, they will open them with palace bosses being defeated. It's weird because I always have to remind myself that this isn't the KR side, and so there's those differences. Like I'm used to running a certain set of dailies every day, and so my muscle memory when I log in for a daily is to come in and do the activities where it's like time bound activities. And you've probably seen it in my other videos when I talk about like how you can do dailies in 5 minutes. And it's so weird to me to not have that. And what's also weird is Thieves Den was not originally at release of the game. And so there was a time period where I didn't have this because it didn't exist. And now it's like that's there, but the other thing isn't. So it's like, it's trippy. It's fun though. I mean, I think it's obviously a good thing. Metaverse, can I get myself a persona? Burn some stamina here. I guess I should go through him. Could I do level 38? I have not. You know what? I'm going to wait because I haven't leveled up my characters since I hit 30. So they're all still 30. I'd rather wait until this is almost over. Although when is the weekly reset? Is it Monday? Because if it is, I may as well just go use the lower end one because I don't know that I'll have a chance to tomorrow. Where's my weeklies? Will it tell me the weekly reset? I think it's on Mondays. Sorry, let me see. What LEDs are you using? So what I'm using, it's the Elgato Light Neo. What the heck is it called? It's basically they have like this Neo line where it's got the camera, the microphone, and the light. And so my light is like kind of up here on another monitor. I have like a vertical monitor to my right, which is where I like check chat. So when I look over, I'm looking at chat. And so it's their host of products. The only thing I don't have is their Stream Deck, which someday I might want to get. That could be fun. But that's my big light. And then my other lights are just like smart bulbs. And then I've just, I've told them to be certain colors in certain parts of my room. So like there's a blue one down there, a purple one. My big light is blue and purple above me, which is just like my normal light. But like at work, I turn that to like natural lighting. I have a natural light to my left. So like the general stuff is kind of like that kind of a setup, but I don't use any like light strips or anything like that otherwise. Still against the last four. Yeah, so the last four powerful bosses, the two hardest in my opinion are the two that I still need to do. One is Eliagor, and it's specifically the Eliagor version that when he comes in, he spawns another guy, and then he makes him take damage for him. And then when you kill one of them, it causes him to get a buff. And when he gets 3 buffs, he goes into like a wrath mode and he just does a ton of damage. That one, you can beat him at level 30. It's honestly easier just to give yourself a couple more levels. So don't feel bad if you need to go back to him. The best character for that one might be Ryuji if he has Leo and he can go into heavy crit mode, because what you want to do, like your least taking damage way that I know of, there might be other strategies by the way, is you take out the one that's holding the damage. So you'll have like 2 to 3 ads. Take out the one that's taking his damage, and then unleash your most powerful move. Like if you're using Ryuji, you want to time it so that your crit hits after that guy has gone. And then you're putting all of your damage into the boss. And you want to do that quickly so that he doesn't have a chance to spawn more of those ads, and that you haven't killed so many that he becomes just too much damage. You can also on your persona, and this is what I have in my lineup, fuse like Slime, for example, or Oni, and they have strength against physical. So it at least helps your Wonder not get one shot. And then otherwise, you can try things like there's personas with Lucky Punch that decrease accuracy, but it's a chance to decrease, so it's kind of RNG-ish. The other one is, I forget what her name is, but she has 4 dogs that are fire resistant, and that one is more of a DPS race / hope that she doesn't land rage, and so you want to kill the ads before she gets you all enraged. If you do that, you have a shot. But like I failed on that on stream earlier today. So to tell you the truth, I'm just gonna go back to them when I'm like level 35, or if I've leveled to 40. I'm just gonna. That's the last two things I have to do in that whole palace. The other Eliagors, if you have on, you can cheese them out with burn. The reason you can't cheese out the other ones is because killing too many makes the guy stronger, and the dogs are fire null, so you just can't use her on that fight. You can technically still burn the dogs, but you won't do enough damage before they hit you. No, those last bosses are really those. I honestly think those are harder than the palace boss. Monday is the weekly. Okay, so then I will do that boss tomorrow. Yeah, the Yui banner for me is an interesting one. So Yui should be our next banner. And the reason, and guys, I'm going to do some gameplay while we do this. I want to push forward. I'm going to warn you what I'm going to do today. So I'm still going to answer all the questions I possibly can. So don't fret on that. But I want to push mementos a bit more, and I want to work on the event for Persona 5 because I can get some good rewards in there. I would get Ryuji over in an A3 just to have some width into your roster, but I can see why people would want it on A2. I have her at A2 just because of sheer luck of pulling, not because I specifically chased it. But you're going to hear me advocate more frequently than not that it's better to have more characters to handle more situations. Like if I had a build Ryuji with Leon right now, I would go probably try to tackle that Eliagor, but I don't, and so I'll just wait. Boss that inflicts rage at 50. It's an annoying mechanic that at this stage of the game, you don't have any personas that can resist rage. You potentially could do things like if you have Morgana and Morgana's not stuck, I'm pretty sure Morgana's skill 2 maybe is the one that can remove a status effect. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I'd have to look otherwise. But yeah, like you can get around certain things like that. And the other thing too is you can also buy medicine from Takame. So that, you know, the medicine woman from Persona 5 after a certain point, and you can get ones that will clear statuses. But again, you have to have someone who's not under the ailment to even be able to use it, and then you're using a turn for the ailment, and usually that boss will damage rush you down before you can. So it can be a waste. Weak to electric, drains wind, drains ice, strong to electric. So, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab, we need a nuke, and the other one's weak to electric, but I want rebellion. So this team is probably the best one I have for this. You have a Joker with weapon. I hit pity on his banner though. Should I focus on getting Yaoling through standard? Don't chase her. She's obviously a great pairing for him. Oh, I probably should have read this stuff. Oops. read your tooltips. Rookie mistake. I have no idea what these guys are going to do to me now without going back. She only sells you illegal drugs. Isn't that what you wanted though, Showtime? So you don't want to chase her to the point that you keep getting duplicates of these early characters, especially because you're going to get better, you know, standard banner characters here in the not too distant future, you know, within the coming weeks. And so worst case, when you get to the 300, your 300th pull, you can just pick her. And so for me personally, I would say that that's the play. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to go for one more 5-star on that banner in hopes to get her because I do not have her. And then if I don't get her, then I'm simply going to wait it out. It's not going to be that big of a deal at that point to wait. Oh, I meant to hit the AoE. This is sometimes what I do when I'm talking. I don't pay enough attention, and then I'd like do some really stupid move. So that was all on me. You'll get her eventually. Yeah. Like actually my next story mission right now is I can go and get her. So oh, you mean Rin? I thought you meant Takumi, the medicine dealer. So yeah, it's you have ways to get her, you know, from that selector if you want to use it on her, or just more than likely at some point, because there's only so many units, you're just going to pull her from the standard banner. And that's why I don't chase on standards, is because you get enough of the currency for free, the gold cards, over the lifespan of the game to where you end up getting a lot of them anyways, and you'll find ways to run teams without them. Like you can see right now, I don't have an optimal team. I have no buffer for Joker here, and I'm still going to do great damage. So, don't worry about being like super hyper meta right now, because you have to ask yourself, why are you doing that? And I think people are just assuming they need to do that, and they're not asking why they're doing it. If you're not trying to do like a challenge run to rush down, for example, Velvet Trials at lower levels earlier than you normally could, what do you need that damage for? Like what is that thing that it's giving you that you feel you're missing right now? And as much as I love the Joker Rin combo and use it in KR, I want it, absolutely. I don't need it right now. Hey, CJ, man, I love seeing CJ in here. CJ's been floating around my streams these last couple of days. I love it. You had a question about Ryuji as well, Bear. I had a question about Ryuji. Oh, you're saying up above. So, I was like, I don't have a question about Ryuji. I know I want him. Someone's asking, thank you for Doc, if you should chase a dupe for him because he seems strong. I have a blanket answer of I don't think you should be chasing any dupes on any characters that exist at the moment. So if you at least have a copy of him, cool. If you have an extra banner select, technically speaking, on is the better value. Don't let that stop you from doing Ryuji though if you love Ryuji. But he's very strong, particularly if you have Leo. The reason he's stronger with Leo is Leo helps him get into rebound faster and more efficiently, so he can just spam skill 3. If you don't have Leo, you can still get him to rebound. You just have to use a skill 1 first. So you're decreasing your total damage potential, but he's still good. Don't get it twisted. I don't mean that he's bad without Leo. It's just like Joker. Joker's better with Rin. Doesn't mean he's bad without Rin. It just means he's better with Rin. Did I finish this whole stage? Am I missing any paths? Nope. Okay, let's go down a level. On A1 or Morgana, I would go. So my answer is going to be to get Morgana. And again, it's not because on A1's bad. I think I have an on A1 right now just by luck. It's simply that I would rather have Morgana and have an additional option than have an additional copy of a single particular character. And on, again, just kind of being in this early batch, you have a good chance of getting dupes on her in the coming months anyways. But if you would prefer to have a stronger damage dealer and you don't think you're gonna use Morgana, there's nothing wrong with picking on A1. Once you get Joker, is it worth it to keep pulling? No, I would not pull on the Joker banner once you get Joker himself. His A1, I don't think is worth chasing, right? And I mean, if you put him at A6, then sure, like his A6 can be great. Because I want to say off the top of my head, it gives you follow-up damage. But I mean, chasing Joker for an A6 is 6 potential other characters you can have in your roster. To me, that's an easy decision. It's to not chase all the way to A6 unless you just really love the character or you're welling out. Not that you asked about chasing an A6, but A1 to me, it's kind of the similar principle of, I think I would rather go for another character unless it's a favorite and I just really am in love with A1, or there's a couple characters, Futaba stands to mind, where I may actually go for an A1 because it's fairly defining to the character. And so it's not like there's never a case where I think you shouldn't chase a dupe. I just don't think Joker is necessarily one of those cases you should, and he is one of my favorite characters. Okay. And Doc is reminding us of a great tip here. And I'll show you what he means. So he's saying that you should go into your inventory. So when you do like your dailies, you get these boxes and they don't auto cache. So like you can see I have 4 random gift sets. And so to get these matched, you actually have to come in here and use it. So now I've got, a couple extra materials, but same thing, like all of you should have 2 weapon cases from, I think it was like the launch rewards. I don't know that I'll ever cash in my 3-star weapons. It's just, you're going to get them playing the game. And so I tend to have a bunch of these piling up. You could use them. There's no reason why you shouldn't. But yeah, you'll get these. And then there were some people at the anniversary that didn't realize they were going to get like free character selector tickets. Or at some point you'll get a 4-star character selector and it'll be in here. And so if you don't pay attention, you could like literally at some point in the game have a 4-star waiting for you and you won't even know it if you don't come in here. So fantastic tip, Doctor. How many palaces are out for the global server? So you can complete Palace 1 in its entirety. And then Palace 2, you can do about half of it. And then the first update, which will be in July, will contain the remainder of Palace 2. So not too far off. We don't have an exact date, but we would assume somewhere in a couple weeks from now. I would guesstimate 2 to 3 weeks because they have two patches that they're doing in July. So I can't imagine that they're going to do them back to back week after week. So I don't think it'll be that long from now. But again, they haven't technically said the date that I'm aware of. Soy is great. I love Soy. My personal preference is to say I don't chase dupes, but Soy's a great character. So if you like him, Perp, I would say go for it. Oh, it's Per Platypus that said that. I just said that. I wasn't even realize it was Per Platypus. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to respond to your messages about the podcast since earlier. I was trying to focus in on the kiddos and the wife. I got Joker very early, like pull 51. So his weapon isn't mandatory. It's not needed, but I do think, if you like the character for him, it does give him a power spike. Is this guy resist? Oh, he's strong to curse. Okay, whatever. I can still use it. But it's not like a mandatory weapon. So if you would prefer, did it say strong or block? I thought it said strong. If you'd prefer to hold your currency, there's nothing wrong with that. But like all characters, you will absolutely feel a power spike having it versus not. And the easiest way to test that is if you just use his 4-star for a while and then you happen to decide to pull, then you're like, oh, wait, now I get it. Keep in mind too, his banner's here for a month. You could try him with his 4-star for, a given amount of time, see how you feel about him, and then choose whether or not you want to, change your mind, I guess you could say, and go for his weapon. Yeah, Soy's great because he does aggro. He also has 2 defense downs. A lot of people don't, realize this in his skills, but his skill, I think his skill 2 is a physical attack of some flavor, and it does a defense down. I may be getting the skills out of order, but it's his physical attack. And then that does a defense down, and then his regular gun attack does a defense down. So one of the strategies is just to alternate those two. And so then you are, I didn't see what elements this guy is. And so then you are constantly, is this Matador? Hold on, I need to read this one. Then you are constantly debuffing the enemy, which is fantastic. Okay, so a lot of people struggle with this boss. So let me read what his skills are in English. So he gets evasion. So Mirage Step, okay, yeah, so this one you have to dance with him, is the best way you could say it. And you can't just brute force him unless you can one-shot him or get close enough to it. You can cheese him with burn though. But so like when he's in Mirage Step, you can't use normal attacks. When he's in this one, so with these guys, you always want to read because they all have a special mechanic. And so it's kind of a pain, but you just have to check his buffs each turn. So we need to swatch it into Yannisek for this one. Oh, it said null. This is just me not reading. that's I did a 6-hour stream yesterday and I'm probably feeling the effects of that. So yeah, so he's going to now evade normal and gun attacks. So I'm going to want to use a skill on him. Soft pity has not been removed, Mikey. That is a weird rumor that went around the community. I'm not quite sure how it got started. The thing about soft pity is it kicks in pretty close to the hard pity, and you're still basically playing with about 11 pulls at that point, and you just still have a good chance of just not hitting it. It's not because the soft pity is not there. It's just that it's just statistical probabilities. But the soft pity is in the game. I wish that rumor would just go away, to be honest with you, but it is persisting for some unknown reason. Hey there, is there any good point of saving golden tickets? So I would save them for the most part because you're going to get some better standard units in the not too distant future, like Miriam, who is probably the best healer. And not too long after that, Vino, when Queen comes around. And so those are ones that are definitely worth your attention. And so I would maybe do a little bit of pulling. Like did he switch his stance? I wasn't paying attention. No, he didn't. Did I just miss him? Evade gun. Oh, skill attacks. Okay, so I need to go normal. Sorry, sometimes it's hard to read chat and actually pay attention to the fights. But I would save some for that. I'm gonna go for one more 5-star, so just one 5-star on the standard, and in hopes of getting Rin. But no, I wouldn't necessarily, push that banner too far. I'm gonna do my best to try to stay up with chat while actually gaming this time. I want to know what kind of character is Ichigo Berry. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen what her skills are. Usually they do like a character preview, and then they will do a preview of skills. And so I haven't seen the skill preview, but if it's not today, then it's probably tomorrow that it comes out. We are evade, gun, and skill attack still. Let me just read and see what he switches to. Now evades skill and ranged attacks. Now avoids skill and ranged attacks. But I will say her preview. So if you don't know what we're talking about, they released the preview for the newest character coming out in the other servers, and chance of evade skill and normal attacks. We need gun, and so she looks super phenomenal, a lot of fun. But I don't know what her kit is yet. Weekly reset is Sunday, not Monday, 8 p.m. All right, somebody smarter than me, because I am terrible. It doesn't matter they work for an international company. I'm terrible at like knowing time zones off the top of my head. Can you tell me 8 p.m. UTC Sunday? What time is that for Mountain Standard Time? Would somebody be as kind as to take a look at that for me? This is annoying because it just makes this guy take forever. Evades gun and skill. Evade. Oh, I didn't. And having it 3 times, I can't read that fast enough because I'm like half paying attention. What are you doing now? So evade normal and gun. So I need skill attacks. Perfect for Joker. So let's drop this one. Got Morgana. Do they pair well? Yeah, it's not necessary. So Morgana doesn't strictly pair with Joker for any like true synergistic reasons. It's more that he pairs, or that he puts a winded or windswept status that gives a defense decrease, and then he can off turn heal, which I like about him. But it's not like he increases curse damage. Evade normal and gun. All right, skill it up. So yeah, he's not like bad or something like that. It's just I like to put them in there because I just like having Joker and Morgana together, but it's not like a special synergy. Switch back to my offensive. Is worth re-rolling. I don't really love re-rolling in this game. It is easier now because they have the multi-pull you can do. 100% chance of evade, gun, and skill. So you can get the multi. So maybe like within 5 to 10 minutes you can do a reroll. So if you believe for yourself that is more valuable than just kind of rolling with the gods give you, then I think that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. I just prefer to jump in, just take it as it is, and just get to the game. Normal and gun. But I don't hate on rerolling, and it's certainly easier now that they give you the free 10 pull. Evade, normal, and ranged. Okay, so skills. Just give me the fat shield for now, my friend. How many characters should you focus on building up for early, mid, and... I'm playing on PC. How come I'm using this Navi? Because I like the little bit of extra sustain. So like you see like the shield she gave me. It just makes the early game easier. And if you didn't notice, this guy's level 38 and I'm only level 30. And so I just kind of know coming into it, it's not that I don't have Aoki on. I can switch into her at any time, but I like that added security right now. Evade normal and gun attacks. This guy is so annoying. Oh yeah, how many characters should you focus on? So I would say build a main team, evade normal and gun. Build a main team. So maybe that's Joker, Rin, and Cattle. Maybe that's on Leo or on Key and Cattle. Whatever you think your main team is, build that up. You're going to need whoever the focus character is for a dungeon. You have to use them on the final boss. And so, at least build them up to the level of the final boss to make that a little bit easier for your life. Evade, gun, and skill. And then I would start working on a second team. So your supports tend to be more universal. So you can kind of sub in and out. So like Cattle's useful on more than one team. Leon's useful on like every team. Things like that will take you far. And then otherwise just see if you can beat things without building too many characters so that you save some resources. But don't be shy on, especially like the levels 1 through like 30 or 40. It's not as resource intensive. It's when you're pushing 50 and up that you get into a scenario where, oh, I didn't mean to hit that button, but I guess it worked out. You get into a scenario where your mats start going away quicker than you realize. And so you're going to want to eventually start thinking about really strategizing your teams then. Evade gun and skill. Off-turn healing. That's why I love Morgana. The off-turn healing is great. Faz, when I was exploring that zone, I kind of have him behind. I couldn't deal any damage to that boss. Do you mean this one right here? This boss is all about switching into whatever stance he's in. It's 1 p.m. Pacific time. So that would be 12 p.m. or 2 p.m. for me. Oh, yeah. The very next message, 2 p.m. And the one before. I just am not reading fast enough. Yeah, so thank you for that. So then that's server reset time. And you said that's on Sunday. So then I will do that fight again today. Yeah, Winded is a great status effect. 8 to 30 for the plan. Eventually some sort of dungeons you need up to 6. Yeah, so even in Velvet Trials, we are already at a stage where you need 2 teams. So you're going to need 2 teams or don't be so stingy on building personas. Evade, normal, and gun. That's kind of a big deal, is how far you want to push your Velvet Trials. And then I don't know when they're going to launch it here, but Astro Trials or Astro Globe is the next Velvet Room thing. And that one you need multiple teams, multiple characters, because you can only use each character so many times in it. And so like you might be able to use Joker 3 times. It's like, okay, well, what do I do when I've used my Joker on the 3 stages I want him for? You need someone else now. And it's like you have to do AoE or you have to do single target or you have to have a deep buffer. Like they put like these really cool conditions. It's a fun mode. Chance to evade gun and skill. Yeah, stay free to play. There's no reason to spend in this game. My KR account is 100% free to play, and I've done everything up until the point that I'm no longer playing it actively because I switched over here, which is basically I stopped playing at the 4th Palace because I want to save that for global. Chance to evade gun and skill. It's like the longest boss in history right now. I'm also, like, if I was level 38, he would have been done by now, but obviously I'm not. Okay. Is it a good idea to level every character to 20, 30? I wouldn't do every character. It's not a bad idea. Like those mats for level 20 and 30 are very easy to come by. It's when you start getting to the purple mats, which is above level 30, that you want to start thinking more about like, hey, do I really want to touch this? And eventually you're going to want to get everyone to 50 because you get gold cards for that, for the pulls. Not today. Like don't push everyone to 50 right away. Wait till you have a surplus of mats. Evade normal and gun. But God, I hate how much I have to think about him when I'm trying to talk to you guys. I actually have to read. It's terrible. See, now I get the extra attack and I can't do skills. But evade skills and normal, so gun attacks. So now I forgot the question because I'm like reading too much. I am so sorry. But yeah, I don't think it's bad. The only ones I don't have a lot of great feelings towards is Tomoko, Tomoko, the side dealer, and Riddle are 2 that, like, it's nothing wrong with building them to 30. I can't see a time I'd ever take them past that. Evade normal and gun. Good, I can actually use this. I know, this floor sucks for this reason alone. I may actually love my characters just to make these fights faster. Oh, and he probably switched stance, didn't he? Sure did. Maybe I'll do the rest of the floor and just skip him for now. Nope, I know you have to face 2 of them at the same time because nothing gets better than having to do 2 of these guys at once. Yeah, I'm definitely going to skip this guy until I level up more. Not because, I mean, obviously I can take him. I just don't want to spend an entire stream fighting 3 matadors. I feel like that is unnecessary. Yeah, weapon pools are 100 instead of 150 if you convert the gems. Evade skill and normal. Wait, is he still evades skin and normal? Thankfully, Janosek is a gun dealer. There we go. Finally, my God, that guy could took forever. Yeah, twice the matter is twice the funds. How do you hit this guy? So every time you touch him, he switches his what he can be hit by. So he's either going to avoid gun and physical, so you have to use a skill, or he'll do like evade skill and gun, so you have to do normal. So annoyingly, you have to check him every single time, or read the skill as it comes up. And whatever he says he's not evading, you have to use that. And that's why you didn't see me just keep pumping out skills, because he would have just evaded those, until he was weak to them. Super annoying. I'm sure everybody loves that boss like nobody's business. Alright, even though my Joker is my favorite, I should probably wait to get him because I don't want to keep wasting all my pull resources. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing with it is at some point, some banner or another, you're going to go all the way to pity. At some point, you're going to get a banner where you get some stupid early luck. It's just the nature of it. And I think it's more fun to say, you know what, I want to play Joker. And characters are almost always at their strongest when they first come out. So, there's not going to be a better time to be a Joker player than right now. So if you like him, don't feel bad about, even if I've talked to people in Discord that had to go to pity, but like, look what I just did to those guys. So, you have to ask yourself, like, what are you saving for? And do you have enough time to save there? And do you want that character more than this one? And you do have a full month for Joker right now, so you don't have to get him today. Like, you could think about it for the next couple weeks, play the game without him. Say, are you having fun without Joker in your party, and then make a decision based on that. Brute force without farming. Yeah, the first boss was lightning weak. Do you mean the first Matador boss? He is, but you still can't hit him with skills of lightning when he's evading lightning. Is it bad that I don't have a good nuke persona? No, the first nuke, that persona for nuke is fine. Because you don't really need some crazy good persona. Normally you just need it to hit a weakness. It's not meant to be like the end all be all damage dealer. Are they known? I just clicked that because I'm not paying attention. Oh, they just resist, thank God. Which confidants are available for us to befriend till which levels currently? How have you enjoyed the confidants in KR? Okay, so current confidants, I should be unlocking Closer because I just beat the first pal, so she'll come shortly after that. You've got Yui as a quest that you guys should all be getting sometime around 25. You have Merope. You have Rin. At some point, you'll get Okion and Tomoko for Content Cycle 1. I don't know if you unlock anyone else in Content Cycle 1, but I don't think so. And I could be wrong, it's hard to remember all those details. But in comparison to KR, I think it's fine from if you're asking from a confidant standpoint, because ultimately you can only get so many in a day anyways. So it's not like I'm waiting for a certain confidant to come out. I just enjoy the ones in front of me, and I think it's fine as it is. If you mean other types of content, I do miss the Astro trials. So, I'm looking forward to certain things coming back, but not coming back, but coming out for the first time. But I'm actually having a lot more fun than you may realize. Going through this with the, native translations or localizations, which obviously, is not what I got on the KR server. And so being able to just read this at a normal speed for me and not have to try to understand what something is trying to say versus what it actually means. And you'll probably notice that in some of my videos where I am looking at a skill and it's decreases attack, but it actually means increase. And you have to understand that in that translation, those are inverse words. And so if you don't know that, you're like, well, why would I put on a power that decreases my attack? And it's like, no, it's actually increasing it. So, not having to deal with that is immensely fun because it's just better to be able to read something. Seeing how they localize things to me is personally fun. So I've got that going for me. And then just being able to come in here and kind of get that from day one, not having all the extra benefit of all the resources, it allows me to try things out that I didn't do in KR. And it allows me to kind of come in with a more natural spot in the game and really, well, that's right. I'll hit the ones in the middle. It lets me do things with teams I didn't do. And one of my videos where I talk about kind of my early pull plans, I talk about how I'm doing like a new game plus. And so when I get the right resources, I'm going to build Ryuji. I'm going to be doing a Fox team. And right now I don't main either one of those in KR. And so I'm looking forward to having them during their content cycles and doing that. Got Leon awareness 5. Oh my God. I can't get one copy of him and you're sitting on 5, man. If you got him to 6, I want to say his A6 off the top of my head also gives the crit damage boost. I'd have to double check it, but that's awesome. If one day you're going to happen into a 6th copy of him and you're going to love life. Group defense buff. Which persona was that one on for the group defense buff? I can remember a lot, guys, but I can't remember like every skill and every persona by name, like who has what for everything. Could you talk about content and battles to tackle first? Going through the first dungeon, but there's event trials. Yeah, so here's what I would say to that. 1, your event, do it when you want to, just don't let it expire. So the event's here for 30 days. And after that, you may lose access to certain like shop type things. So, and this is the golden rule for all events. It's not specific to this one. But make sure that at some point in life, you have carved out the time necessary to complete the event in front of you. And that's, so like this one, I'd probably do it in the next few weeks. I was going to do it a bit tonight, but I'm playing with mementos. The reason you want to go through mementos is you see all these tickets I'm getting. Every time I go to the kiosk and turn them in, I get rewards and I get character EXP. And I don't think people realize how far they could push mementos before finishing the first palace, and that can help you get a little bit closer to being to that level 30 range. When you get to that like level 26 spot that everyone kind of gets stuck at, myself included, I was stuck there. And then let me see what other kind of content, trials. And so then like SOS trials, you have 2 types. You have the regular Velvet room. And so the regular Velvet trials, you want to keep up with your book. So whatever step you're on, if it says, hey, you need to clear out 2 of X in the Velvet trials, go do that. Because the book assumes that if you get that far, that's basically where you should be and you should be able to clear those. And you want to keep progressing your book for all the rewards. The other one, the SOS, the way that one works, did I just go backwards? The way that one works is it refreshes every so many days. So it's like every couple weeks. And so on it, there is a countdown. And I think right now, okay, this is Matador. Or no, this is the end boss for this stage. I'm going to assume it's Matador and not mess with him right now. Well, actually, I can just look and see if it is. Duh. I don't have to actually fight him. But the thing about SOS is you can go tackle it whenever you want to. And the thing you're trying to do is get the best score you can. So just by nature of time, you're going to be at your strongest like right before the patch ends. Because you would have leveled more, possibly gotten weapons, possibly gotten characters. And so you're going to have your best chance at your highest score towards the end of the cycle, but you can always take it on more than once. So you can go play with it and have fun. Okay, this is not whatchamacallit. Yeah, let's run with this. Why not? Who's strong to what? So strong to physicals, strong to psi. Okay, we can do this one. I am not free to play for 2 reasons. 1, I wanted to put some money into the game just because I've been playing it for 7 odd months. And I felt like that was a good way to kind of, support the game developers. I don't mind doing that. The second reason is I don't want to say quite a few people have been incredibly generous. Not that I'm looking for this, but just to be transparent with you, have been really generous and have either become members of the channel, like Alex, you can see right there has got the member tag, or someone earlier gifted 5 memberships, and I've gotten a few super chats during my streams. And so that money that people are giving me via those mechanisms, I'm putting back into the game to bring you value. And so like I bought the stamina package that's on sale for like $4. So that way, if there's a day that like I'm done with content and you want to see something, I can burn some stamina. If there's ever like, you know, a surplus, I don't want to say, surplus sounds weird, but like, if I have plenty of stamina and like I keep a log of what people, have been generous with, and someone's like, I really want you to pull Yui. And I'm like, oh, cool. I've got $30 that, I've collectively gotten through super chats. Again, please don't take that as I'm asking for that. Then I'll put that into pulls. So I want that to go back to you. And the way I can make it go back to you is by putting it into the game so I can show you more. So I'm not free to play for those reasons, MT6. But also I am free to play on the KR server up until the point that obviously now I'm going to global. And so I played my entire KR history as free to play. And I enjoyed every second of it. And I never found that I was like, I wish I could buy something. There was never a point in time that I'm like, I would clear this if I could spend $5. So I think you can go through the entire game with tons of fun, not worrying about spending a dime if that's what you choose. And I think that's a perfectly valid thing. Going forward with the content cycle, how should we prepare ourselves after finishing current content? So what you want to do is think about who is the next character banner. So for example, as far as we know, unless something changes, Yui is our next banner. Yui is electric, and I think a lot of us will skip her unless we just happen to like her or want her because of her character design, whatever. And so I don't necessarily need to save for Yui. So I won't have a lack of resources to try to catch her up in levels. If I was pulling for Yui, I would sit back and say, okay, well then I want to get some extra irises, some extra crystals, and some extra leveling mats, so that the day that I pull her, I have a surplus of items that will let me get her, because it feels bad, and I've had this happen to me. It feels bad when you're like, oh sweet, I pulled Violet. Oh no, I can only get Violet to level 50. That's useless. So, I feel like it's a bit, oh, okay, these are both AoE. I didn't check that out. Is anybody burning? So I want to see the side damage to all decrease. I want to decrease defense. So you can look at that. Otherwise, you don't have to really prepare for content cycles in this game at all. It's more of either you'll get a new game mode. So like when the heart rail comes out, you don't have to prepare for it. You just start playing it and having fun. And like palaces, you don't have to prepare for. You just go in there and just enjoy them. Expansions and mementos, you don't have to prepare for. So I would say when you're in between content cycles, that's when you want to say, play with the gachapon in the game, not the character pulls, but there's an actual gachapon. Try to collect do your collections. Try to push your social stats. Just do all that like city life activity. And just take it slow, and then don't feel bad if you treat it as a secondary game. Like if you want to spend your day playing Counter-Strike or whatever and then pop in this for 5 minutes and do your dailies for a couple weeks until the content cycle, the game's not meant to be like a 3-hour every single day kind of game. First game of this type in, it can be overwhelming. So something to know about that, Jota, is, and it's very common for gacha games in most cases, not every single one, but they usually will get a patch, and we call this content cycles. You'll get a patch, and that patch is going to give you a bunch of stuff. And the way it happens in Persona 5X is you'll get palaces or palace expansion. So like right now you can get through half of Palace 2. And so our next, I forgot if this is my extra turn or not. I'm going to assume it is. So our next patch will give us the second half of Palace 2. And that's a very common thing they do in this game. And so you're going to get like these periods with patches. We just get a ton of content. So when that happens, you're going to feel like there's a ton of things to do because there is a ton of things to do. Then you're going to burn through that content. So what some people are finding now that have been really pushing the game hard these last 3 days is they beat the second palace to the point that they can. And they're like, oh no, what do I do? And so, aside from the fact that there's like the Persona 5, what is it called? Persona 5 collaboration event going on where you can do, that special stage. you kind of just run out of additional content, and then you're in what we call the patch cycles. And it's like, okay, well, you have the weekly reset on, or the biweekly reset of SOS. And so you get this like roller coaster effect of a ton of content, and then it quiets down, and then a ton of content and it quiets down. And so you can treat the game one of two ways. You can rush the content, get it all done, and then chill for 2 weeks, and just like do your dailies, or you can spread that content across until, as long as you're doing it before it expires, and do it at a more leisurely pace, if you want to call it that. So don't get overwhelmed. You can play this game either way, and it works both ways. I should have probably cleared out that down part. Let's see. I'm in top 1% of Velvet Room. How far have you pushed in the Velvet Room then, per Platypus? I've only done a few stages. I haven't done any of the secondary paths where it's like mono teams. We can do anything about the character speed before we unlock artifacts. The only thing you can do about character speed before artifacts is specific to Wonder, in that you can give him speed via inheriting it from other personas. I think at this point, the most you'd be able to get is speed 1. At this stage of the game, there's not enough content that's hard enough to worry about your speed, which is why like you see my Wonder going after my Joker. It's not that I couldn't potentially fix it. It's that it's not worth the use of the coins and getting extra characters to do it. Because like you see me right now, like I was fighting level 38s, and I'm level 30. It's just, you're just not at a point that you have to speed tune. Where speed tuning is the best is going to end up being an SOS as far as current content goes. But even then, like you're going to get leveled up through SOS fast enough that it's not going to matter. So I wouldn't worry about that level of min-maxing just yet. Why can't we have this Matador? Yeah, I can't believe it's not Matador. Matador needs to just go away. I'm blown away by how well this game has captured the spirit of P5. I keep telling people, I think this is a Persona game first, a Gacha second. I really mean that. I super chatted earlier as giving thanks to your videos. They've been very helpful. Thank you, Jota. And like I said, that will go back into the stream. Do not worry. Is Riddle's RNG going to make them trash in the future? Is Riddle's RNG going to make them trash in the future? I think Riddle just makes herself trash. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm just joking. I've been picking on her. So I think for now, with the character stable we have, she's one of those ones that you could use for like the first palace or two, push her up to that level 30. And then I think Palace 2 maybe goes as high as level 60. I can't remember what level the boss is. I don't think I'd ever bring her past that point. But if the second you get a Leon, just retire her. I can't think of one valid reason except for maybe ironically running her with Tomoko, who I would never build, that I would pick Riddle over Leon. So no, I wouldn't take her to 80, but eventually you're going to take everyone to 50 anyways for the sake of getting the gold card. So might as well get use of her when she's one of the only buffers we have. Can't wait to play here in SEA. 3 more. I think it's like the 3rd or something, isn't it? I forget the exact date, but it is very, very soon. And I can't wait for you to play as well, because as you can tell, a lot of us are excited for this game. Like I said, I'm excited enough to have now started my second playthrough and create content for it. So I don't waste my time on things I don't like. I'm too old for that. And my family's time is too precious for that. And so if I'm doing something twice, I'm in love with that something. That's why I have more than one kid, because I'm clearly in love with my wife. So I've done stuff with her more than once. Adult hour, guys. Jota, super chatting again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can you give some insight of cool events they did in KR that would be fun when they come here? Cool event. That's a great question. Let me think about that. So was it Chinese New Year? I think it was Chinese New Year. Yeah. So I'm a big arcade fan. I think most of you have probably seen it. If not, I'll show you. But you can see I have arcade machines in my house, and I have more arcade machines in the other room. And so on this Time Crisis machine is also Point Blank, which is one of my favorite arcade games of all time. I'm older now, so I'm not as accurate as I used to be. But they have this mini game during that event that you can win like, currency for to buy stuff from like the shop for the event. And in it, it's like a shooting game. And so you have to like hit these targets at a certain speed. And then like you get characters that will give you certain power ups. I think, Doc, did you do that game too? I can't remember if you saw the game. I might be getting my events wrong, but I'm fairly certain it was Chinese New Year. And so I loved it because it was just unique. It was different. It wasn't just another boss battle. So that was a really cool one. Tartarus is a whole new game mode, and it's like a roguelike type thing where you pick your characters and you get like cards and you level, up certain skills or certain effects, I should say. And it can be very, very brutal. I would encourage you to check out Blades for his live streams. He likes to run them on there, and I will pop in when I can, but those are really fun. But that's like a whole new game mode that's permanent, so it's not really an event thing. Other events that are fun. So you get, when you get certain characters that come out, these are like new, I want to say no, it's not all limited characters because Cherish has one. But when you get some new characters, original characters, they have this structure. And the structure of the event is you have maybe 6 or so roughly stages that are just regular enemies. Honestly, you can auto battle through those. But then you get into, sorry, let me just check my map. I want to go back into the right. And then you get into a boss series of battles. So it's like another like 6 or so levels. The first few are easy because it's meant for like lower level. And then once you beat that, the last couple are harder. And so it kind of puts your skills to test of A, if you pull the character, it'll be a heck of a lot easier because it's built around their mechanics. Or B, if you didn't, so a lot of times I don't have these characters, you have to find a way to make your team work for it. And I actually love it when I have to think about my team. The other event type that, and this, I guess I shouldn't call this an event because it's a mode, but Astro Globe is my favorite in the game because you have to build so many teams for it. And so I think they had rumored that it was going to come out with launch, and it didn't, obviously. But if it had, that would have been incredible. Let me see. What have I missed in questions? Thank you for answering questions. Found your channel about a week before Global. Oh, thank you for watching the videos, Max. Don't usually play gacha games. Yeah, this one, play it as a Persona game, and then just play into the gacha mechanics on the pull banners with the currency they give you, and don't feel pressure to spend if you don't want to. They can go play Persona 5R. Persona 5R is fantastic. I love that game. Good job on the XP guide. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? The response to that video has blown me away. This is Matador, isn't it? Is it the double Matador? Oh, okay. He's with a bicorn, and he's doing that stupid stuff. I'm going to pass him for now because I just don't want to go slow. I'll wait till I level up more because otherwise he's just going to take forever, as you saw from the last one. Yeah, so keep in mind, I went from making YouTube videos with my son for Minecraft that got like 3 views to the response that you all have given me, and my mind is just extremely blown. I don't know how to take it. I'm just having a great time with you all, and I'm happy that the content is something that you like and resonates with you, and I'm happy to make videos of things that you want to hear more about. So, don't hesitate to drop ideas of things like, oh, I'd really like to know this. Like, I know there's a big ask for me right now to do, guides on personas and which ones I think are worth leveling or building or whatever. So, that's going to be something I film. And hopefully other content creators, wouldn't like steal ideas. I don't think they would. But, a lot of us are going to cover the same topics regardless, because that's just the nature of this kind of industry, in the sense that like you can only talk about so many things. Like everyone's going to have a character guide for Joker, right? But we're all going to have our different takes on it. But like, I know that's one. I have another one that came up in one of my streams earlier, and I think it's not completely unique. Like, I know I can't be the only person who's ever thought of it, but I haven't seen anyone make this video yet, so I'm going to keep that one to myself. But that will come out next week, so look forward to it. And I think it's one that everyone in this chat right now, and anyone who has not gained experience from playing other servers like I have, will get value out of. Because it's playing on my knowledge of the game mechanics in ways that I have noticed people have asked the same question. And I'm not saying that rudely. I don't mind that people ask the same question. That's why I'm here. But I think that this particular video will help with that question, is what I should say. So yeah, next week, it'll probably be, I'm going to flip a coin after Metallica tomorrow and decide which one I want to film first. Both of them are going to take a little bit more time because they require a bit more prep or a bit more consideration to not make them 500-hour long videos. And I respect your time, so I don't want to make videos that you just sit there and you're like, I wish I could fast forward this. So yeah, there's that. Riddle equals reroll. I know Showtime Doctor, like you and I are definitely not on the riddle train. Anything you should consider for the weekly reset? Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So you want to make sure that you finish, if you have finished Palace 1, if you haven't, this need not apply, then, and I'll do it after I'm done playing with mementos right here, you want to refight the boss with your stamina. So get that done before it resets because you get better mats for it and you get good XP for it. So do that one. I don't think there's anything in the shop today, but eventually you may find a shop that has like a weekly reset. So if there is, just keep an eye on that. I can't recall seeing a single weekly reset item outside of the cash shop itself. If you're spending money, you know what that is because you intentionally bought it. I did not because I don't really want it. But otherwise right now, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's tied to the weekly resets that you need to think about right away. The Palace boss. What do we have here? So we have him. I missed a path somewhere. Where? Right there. There it is. I'm like, there's 2 save points. So I clearly missed something. Is there anything else from the weeklies? Nothing is coming immediately to mind. I'm trying to think of where else we would see something. If anyone knows of something else, let me know. It's just nothing is springing to mind. What else do we have? I play other games simultaneously. Yeah, I think that's what I think a lot of people do, especially if you're a gacha veteran. You kind of understand different game cycles. The hardest is if you play like 2 or 3 gachas and like they have content resets at the same time or like anniversaries. Then you're like, oh my God, what do I do with my life? I gotta crush it all. Best Persona 5 content creator. Thank you for saying that. I super appreciate that. I get a lot of hype because I'm in Bladesifer's Discord. That's where like I host my guild and everything. And you know, he's got like, I think in the last few weeks, he's gotten like quite a few thousand, seriously, 1,000 new subscribers, which just shows the interest and love and support that people have as his videos. So for me to have even like a fraction of that, just, it warms my heart, honestly. So I've loved this reception and it means a lot to me when you say things like that. This dude put a defense debuff on, then you dodged his super. That's pro game status right there, Showtime. You beat Matador? Good. Yeah, he's such an annoying thing to fight. Persona Universe brought Showtime Doc out. We have an entire video back in the day of us talking about Persona. Down at Join Riku Club. So I'm catching up on chat here, so bear with me. Have they only collabed with P3? Technically, Persona 5 and Persona 5R are collaboration events. So like the P5 event up here right now is technically their first collaboration. Okay. I loved an arcade. Yeah, so you gotta be talking about Point Blank at this point. Take up half the space. Yeah, this thing is it's a chonky game. Yeah, the train thing is not my favorite event. It has its moments that it's not bad, and I wonder if I'll enjoy it more on global because I actually know what the heck the cards are doing. I more or less brute force that one, but that game event is long. Now Tycoon is my favorite. I love playing the card game. I didn't realize they released it during the Atlas game sale. That is clever. P4 Golden is my favorite Persona, just so you're aware. Reading through the chat here. P3 Reload is really good. I really enjoyed it. The story definitely picks up in the second half. I agree with you there. First Palace boss down. Congrats. Don't know anything about the mode because I like roguelites. So the train mode. I'm going to cover this for a second. And so the way the train mode works is you pick a platform, and your platform is just a direction you're choosing to go, and it ends in one of 4 bosses, and you are going to pick which boss you want to fight by either going up or down, just depends. So like certain junctions, you get to pick a direction to go. And so what you do is you start by saying, okay, well, I'm going to go fight the, I don't know, electric weak boss, and so I'm going to get Closer and build a team around Closer, and I'm going to go do that boss. And then you basically, you get a card. So there's like 2 or 3 cards will pop up and each one has a different effect. And if you get 4 of the same card, I think it is, you get a empowered buff for that specific card type. So like if your card, just to make it up, said, hey, you get increased crit damage, then when you have 4 of them, you get even more increased crit damage or an extra effect. And so you can carry so many cards, it's not infinite. And so you end up making decisions on what card sets you're building. And so when you like right now, let's pretend I was doing this fight and this was the train. When I'm done with this fight, I then pick, do I go up or down or center? And then I do the next fight and I can go up or down or left or right. Like you're going in a direction, you're picking which path. Some of those paths have treasure chests that give you buffs or like coins that you use like in the mode. And so it's just like you're going down these paths and you eventually get to a boss and you do that 3 times in a row. The reason a lot of us don't love the mode isn't because we dislike the game or dislike the fights or even the concept of roguelike. I love roguelites. My friend is literally programming a roguelite of sorts right now, and I'm doing the art and animation for his game. And so I love that kind of stuff, but it's like 2 seconds of doing something followed by a decision. 2 seconds of doing something. It's just too stop and go. And it really kills. Nope, I will do you guys later. It really kills the momentum. And it takes, like, there's no way to make that mode last 5 minutes. Like you cannot go into that mode and say, I've got 5 to 10 minutes to play. I'm going to get through a train and I'm going to be done with my life. You have to invest time into it. And so it is a mode with a lot of commitment, and you level up to level 180. I don't know if 180 was the default max or if that like got expanded later, because by the time I got to it, it had already been out. And it has a ton of rewards, great rewards. You get a lot of stuff like gems from it, but it's like defeat platform 6 with all electric units or 3 electric units. It's like, okay, well, can I even do that? And so it's like, okay, now I need electric persona, I need closer, and hopefully somebody else. So, you know, there's a lot to it, but every time you play it, you have to invest time in it. And so as fun as roguelike can be, it's just a very time committed mode. It's not as streamlined as I think it could be. 100% deserve all the views. Thank you. New music is fantastic. I love that the new P3R music is in the game when that comes out. Seeing all the endings. Yeah, even though I know all the stories for all the games, I'll still replay them. I like Mementos. Just hit level 40. God, per platypus. You have to be doing stamina refreshes if you're 40. I'm clearly not level 40 yet. How do you refight the boss? So just after you beat the palace, progress the story for about 2 or 3 more missions, and they'll tell you that you can go back in the palace, and then it will open it up in where you do your stamina stuff. I'll show you. But you have to get to a certain part in the story to unlock it as a feature. Let me go there really quick. Actually, well, you guys, I can show it in a minute because I don't want to go without getting back to the save point. But you know where you can like farm mats or like get personas, where you farm the mats, so it's like I can pick the stage for irises or XP or whatever. You'll get a new icon and it's the palace bosses, and you can do so many fights of that per week. So it's not like you can farm it every single day. So just each week, make sure you use the max that you can do it. I think it's 50 stamina per run. Maybe it's 40, or maybe 50 is the higher levels and I'm just used to it from KR. But in any case, it costs stamina. Is your guild full? It is fully as of right now, Jota, but I would estimate that in a couple weeks we'll lose some members because a lot of people will get hype and then decide this game's not for them. So that's pretty normal with gacha games. And when that happens, I will open up application. They're not really applications. It's just interest on Discord. So if you want to be considered, what you want to do is in one of my community posts, well, I shouldn't just pull from Discord. I'll put it in the chat, but I'm on Bladesifer's Discord. Give me a second to go grab it. And I have sorry, I can't talk and get this at the same time. Just hang tight. Copy. I need to find my screen again. This will be the Discord server. So join that server. It's part of his community. It's not my Discord. But up there, you'll see the Bearpocalypse Guild. And that is my post. And so just check that out. And then if something opens up, that is where I will post that information. And then it's like, you know, I basically just go down first come, first serve. There was a few people that I'd held spots for that have been supporting me since I first started YouTube a year ago. And so I did, full transparency, hold spots for them, as I think you could understand. And then the rest of it, I just go in order. So if you're the first to say, I want to get in your guild, and, I've posted a spot, then that's you. I'll invite you in. And then I'll just ask you to send the invite in game and then to message me your ID so I make sure I get the right person. And it's really that straightforward. But yes, as of right now, long-winded way of saying that the guild is currently full though. Weekly battle pass missions. Weekly battle pass. Okay, so are you talking about these goals? Yeah, so you can shortcut this up. You can still get to level 50 pretty easily, to be honest with you, in a full cycle of this, but you're not wrong. So you have these where, clear realm of repression recollection. So I can go there. Maybe I'll do that after this. Reach objective in phase 4 of Nightmares Gateway. And so these are nice because you just click go and go to those places. But yeah, so that's a good point. You can reset these. Stamina, if you're not using pots, I believe you can just do it normally. But we started on a Thursday, which is why I've got 850 out of 1250 right now. But in a normal week, you'll just get that. Oh, I gotta kill this guy. But good call. I didn't think about that one. He thinks Joker is better than Ryuji, but Ryuji can be good. Sorry, I missed that question, wherever it was. Yes, Joker I would say is more universally good. And if you haven't noticed, you just have a lot more AoE fights. Like all of your normal stage fights are going to be AoE. Where Ryuji can really shine is in bossing. So you're going to get those hard fights in palaces like that Eliagor. That's where you want a Ryuji because he can come in there and just dish out a ton of damage. And you're basically at that point racing the mechanics and you're saying, I don't want to sit here and let him hit me 500 times. And so I'm going to take Ryuji and I'm going to hit him twice and call it a night. That's where Ryuji's amazing. Obviously, if the boss resists physical, that doesn't work because, he is a physical DPS. But that's really great. He cannot do AoE with any reasonable effectiveness. He does have an electric skill, but that electric skill is not, it's kind of like Joker. His single target skill is not really meant to replace a single target DPS. It's just there. And it can be used in situations where you're down to one enemy. And so like when there's one enemy, you see me use that because you build up more of his fury that way. You get 2 stacks instead of 1. But under every other circumstance, you would use Joker for AoE. It's same thing for Ryuji. You're not going to really use him for AoE content. But yes, I do like Ryuji and I do intend to build Ryuji. I just haven't actually pulled him yet. I'm waiting till I get my final pull. What do we got? 170 people. Let me get through this stage in Mementos. I have one standard banner multi that I can do. And we'll do that because I know it's always fun to do pulls. Tycoon is coming. I wish it would have came with launch. So Tycoon, even if you don't like the card game, which I'm not gonna say you're wrong, but how could you not like it? It's got some incredible rewards. So you can get a ton of mats from playing Tycoon, like a ton of mats. So even if you don't like it, go in there and just do your best, have some fun with it if you can, and just soak up some rewards. It's just every mode in this game ends up with the freaking shop. And so just know that you've got another shop coming where you can get a whole bunch of rewards. And so when I talk about, is this game free to play friendly? It's because I know that once you get all this content out, every content cycle, all these things refresh and you have another chance to get all the stuff in those shops. So again, this is a little bit of, I have the benefit of foresight to my advantage, having played KR for so long, that I just know that eventually you resolve a lot of these earlier game crunches on mats. Not to say that you need to go bring everybody to level 50, 80, whatever. Like you will, kind of hurt yourself if you do that, but you will get a chance to start really fleshing out your teams as you go along. Frosh, somebody checked it out, and I apologize for not remembering who it was, but they had mentioned that, yes, the weekly reset is on Sunday. So if you need to do your weekly boss, if you've beaten Palace 1, get that done. Like I said, I'm going to do it tonight. I will do it on stream, guys. So if you don't want to see what that boss looks like, I will give you a warning before I do it. I won't take offense if you leave the chat before I do that. Okay, let me get through some more of these questions here. Sorry, if the screen goes boring for a minute, I'm just trying to make sure I answer what you need. Can there be guild battles where you fight four matadors at once? So I think like when you think about end of lifing a game, I think that's how you know it's coming. It's not the quality goes down; it's that they make you fight four matadors. Um, yeah, Showtime Doctor and I go way back, so thank you for helping me with the question, Showtime. And again, if I'm sorry if I've missed a question, it can be hard for me to scroll through all of chat. So if I missed it, just please feel free to ask it again. Somebody must have gone to pity with going for Joker because I see Showtime saying, apologizing to him, Big Mish. If that's you, Big Mish, if you went to pity for Joker, that sucks. I'm sorry. Hopefully the luck changes. I will eventually go to pity on somebody. It happens to all of us, unfortunately. It's the stream delayed. It's not delayed. It's just a lot of questions, and I'm actually over here scrolling on my other screen trying to get to them all. So you guys are very active, and I thank you for that. So just bear with me and be patient. I don't have it on stream delay. I just have a lot of questions in the chat. Where do you play Tycoon? It's not out yet, but it'll have its own game mode. So it'll have a whole icon for it that you go into. Do Mementos rewards refresh? No, they do not. Yeah, the card game will come. It's just not out yet. I've seen some wild complaints about this game. Complain about how long it took to start. Man, I think Persona games have the longest intros. Who here has not played Persona 4? Because if you haven't played Persona 4, it is literally an hour if you're not skipping dialogue, like a true hour before you get to like your first real fights that aren't like the first, like I'm in the game. Like to get into the game is like a legit hour. Okay, so personas. What personas I recommend? It depends on what level you are, but I'm assuming most of us are just now coming into that level 30 or you're less than level 30. Before level 30, you can only have two personas. So your two stable ones that I like at this stage, and you'll see me use them a lot, is Yanosik, which is your persona. He levels with you and is always relevant in this game. A lot of end game teams will still have Yanosik on him. So, don't feel like traditional persona where they lose their relevancy. That doesn't happen for Yanosik. So he is one you're always going to want to build. And then the other one, Succubus, is your first persona that has Rebellion, which is a increased crit. And so you want that because it helps boost your damage. So a lot of times my loadout is Yanosik and Succubus as my default. Succubus can be replaced or at least leveled with Asperus. Asperus also has Rebellion, but they're different elements. So, for example, you wouldn't want to bring Succubus to a null curse fight and use Hermudo. She can still use Rebellion, but Asperus, I forget what... level 18. I forget what element Asperus is off the top of my head. Maybe Ice. And so, you would just sub it for Asperus, or like if you couldn't use Asperus because of a, resistance block, you would just sub over to Succubus. So early game, I would look for those two. And then the other thing you want to look at is, do you have someone who might have, for example, Tarakaja, which is your attack buff, or Racunda, like Lena Side, I think it is, has Racunda. And so Racunda is great because you decrease defense on the enemy. Now, and you see it here, like most of what I'm fighting, I don't need to decrease defense, which is why I tend to just blitz it with my offense. But when you get into harder fights, or like if you're trying to fight an enemy who's a higher level than you, then yeah, drop their defense down. That's a great way to kind of, reduce the time it takes to kill them. I totally wanted to go back to this other room and I just keep missing it. Other ones that are good. So I think it's Oni has both because I needed to get it to 18. Oni has both a resistance to physical and gun. And so he can be particularly good because you can basically make Wonder tanky on fights that are heavy like Eliagor. So he's a great one. Like if you have Ryuji with Leon and you throw Oni on your personas, it's either Oni or Slime. No, Slime is just resistant to gun, I think, or physical, one or the other. But you throw Eliagor or you throw Oni on there, I think it is, and now like even his big moves aren't as devastating to you. Now they still will one shot your other people. Screw that. I will do Matador later. He can still one shot your other people, but at least your Wonder can live through that. So he's a good one. And then you want to build when you need it for like Velvet Trials. You kind of just look at and say, okay, I need an ice one. Well, Jack Frost is a great ice one as an example. Or you need wind, and so you find someone with like an AoE wind. There's a guy with a G, I forget his name. He's like an example. So that's kind of like some of the early ones you can look towards. The Russian Robin Hood, yeah. Let's see. For the future, if you click Q on a gimmick boss, it'll tell you the information about the boss. Thank you. Nice. That's a good tip. I usually end up clicking in on them, and it's probably a lot faster just to hit the button like you mentioned there. Can you tap? It's not that meta dependent, Joda. So especially stuff like this, like Mementos, you see I'm not bothering to switch my team around. If I didn't have Joker, this would just be my on team, would be the only difference that you would see here. And she would be doing just as much as Joker. Joker will be a little bit faster at it right now for this early game kind of AoE situation. He is going to beat her in a lot of this stuff unless it's Curse Resist or Curse Null. But if you're not pulling Joker, you didn't get Joker, you don't have him yet, just run on if you've picked her up and you'll be just as fine. Oh, nice. Asperus is ice. I knew something. It's the, I mean, there's 100 and like almost 150 personas in this game. I don't know if at launch we have that many, but I know in KR we have something like that. So yeah, it's like impossible for me to sit back and be like, oh, I remember exactly every persona. I still have to go back and be like, okay, I need somebody with a defense debuff or debuff. Who do I need? A lot of your 4-star thieves are going to be absolutely fine. Fleuret is still very much a good damage dealer in current content. You do have to put a team around him to buff him, but the fact that you can use a 4-star just says a lot. There's not really too many people that just really don't do it. Like, I hate to say it, but I just can't justify Tomoko, and I really wouldn't put Riddle into level 80. Maybe if I needed an extra buffer in Astroglow, but I just still would have a hard time with that. Ryuji probably isn't going to last you forever. It's not that you can never use him, but you just aren't going to find a lot of places where you have one target and you need to use them. And even then, if you pull Mesa later, Mesa is just, it tends to be a really good physical unit. I don't think I'm going to pull Mesa, but so Ryuji's not totally up there. I'm still going to build him. I'm still going to take him to 80. Spoiler alert. So yeah, I think, you know, a lot of teams you're going to run a lot. And the reason that they work, and the reason this is unlike other gacha games in this regard, at least, not to say that there's no other gacha game like this, is you get to content types where you really need multiple teams. So you'll see it already in Velvet Trials where you need teams with multiple elements just to hit the elemental weakness to get the scores you need to 3-star it. So there's already stuff in the game for that. And then Astro Globe, whenever that comes out, it's limits how many times you can use the same character. And so you legitimately don't have a way to use that same character for all the stages. You are going to have to build multiple teams, and you're going to end up like throwing a soy in there. You're going to end up throwing, or Morgana in there, or a cattle for a healer somewhere. Like, you're going to end up reusing a lot of units. And so a lot of what you will see in those modes is these units used over and over again. Got Joker and Rin reroll. That's a nice reroll. Pull Ann and Ryuji. Pull on and Ryuji. I would personally go on and Ryuji because you're probably going to get duplicates on the standard banners over time anyways. So there's no reason to rush that. Oh, dude, Persona 4, that coming back, it's my favorite Persona game. So, you know, I'm going to be all over that. I can't wait to see what they add to it. I did a P4G playthrough last year. I'll probably do another one at the end of this year. Not on stream, I just throw it on my Switch and have fun with it. There's a lot of the Shadows personas that you fight have different affinities from the baseline persona. Yeah, some of the changes, if you're used to playing mainline personas, you're like, wait, wasn't that wind or wasn't that, you know, whatever elements? Yeah, that it can get trippy. Matador everywhere. Yeah, I just don't feel like fighting him right now. I'll do him later. Both weak to fire and lightning in P3 and P4, but doesn't, yeah. Showtime, I think you should make that video. That's your video. That's your idea. You make that one. Yeah, so this one is definitely very elemental heavy. Um, I like that about it. I like that it forces me not to get one incredibly meta unit. Because, like, from a single target damage perspective, one of my favorites, if not my favorite, is Violet. She'll come out, months and months and months from now. And she can do some incredible damage. And I absolutely have a blast playing her team. Her team and the Haru team are my two favorite teams. I'm thankful that I can't just do everything with Violet because I think I would get bored of this game if my answer was just the same four button presses in rotation for every single fight that I did. Tomoko is huge for AoE time trial fights. We have one unit doing the majority of your work, like current rotation on Nightmare. Yeah, and I may not love Tomoko, but I don't want to paint the picture that you can't use her or that she's useless. I think for the most part, everybody can be used. I just tend to solve problems that I need Tomoko for with a persona rather than build Tomoko and I save the mats. Yeah, and that's a great point that you bring up, Locke, is even your best units right now, like a Joker who's your only, limited banner, is still going to face content where they're blocked. So you're still going to need somebody else. Yeah, I think my Tomoko is either A3 or A4 right now too. Like the game is like, we heard you talking smack. So here you go. Here's 4 copies. Enjoy that, but you don't get Leon. So, karma has found its way into my Tomoko. Or that Aura, I can't say that. Resisting fire tricked you. Yeah. How long will it take for summer closer? So we don't have an exact date, but here's what I think. This is a personal opinion, not like I have any sort of developer inside track. They probably don't even know I exist. Is what they said in one of their interviews is they are not trying to catch the game up to the Chinese release in terms of like fast tracking us to P3 content, right? So they're not trying to like get us to Palace 4 any faster than they had. So I wouldn't expect us to really close the 1 year gap. But what they did say is that they intend to potentially shift up some of the events. And so what most of us have speculated, and again, this is all speculation, is that things like summer events or like the Chinese New Year will be shifted to still match the season. Because the big call that I put is like, why would you do the summer events at Christmas? It doesn't make sense. Why would you do Chinese New Year at any point in time but Chinese New Year? So, if you just play the calendar game, it doesn't line up well. And so I personally think that summer banners will come a lot sooner, potentially in the next, few weeks to a month. And I further this by the fact that if you look at the trailer for the game, it has the summer event in it. It's not like hidden, like it's already been displayed. So, that gives me this thought that we're going to see it a lot sooner. And here's the thing, if you're not pulling on Joker and you want a great AoE, then you've got Summer Closer in that banner. She's fantastic. I don't know that I'm going to pull her. I actually don't have her on KR. And it's the same caveat as Joker. She's great, but if you fight a Bless resistant team, then of course she's not going to be useful. If you put Joker on Curse Null, he's not useful. So it's always going to be the same story. But she is really, really good. Summer Moko I will be pulling, and I will pull for a weapon. Her weapon's not needed, but I like having her complete kit, and it makes her healing that much better. And she is really good if you plan on pulling Haru. A lot of people regretted not pulling her when Haru came out. It's not mandatory, but she does give an effective hit rate boost, and Haru's whole kit is based on her EHR being higher, so they just pair really well together. Showtime, I can't wait to see your vids. Should we be saving on the standard banner? I think so. I mean, maybe go for 1 5-star if you want to. That's what I'm doing. But that's all I'm doing. At least that's my current plan. Because you're going to get a couple better units down the road. Not too far down the road. They're like the next couple content cycles. And they will leave their banners and move to standard. And I would rather chance getting them than some of the other characters that are there right now. I've never played P1 or P2. You can get P5 R team eventually. So you've got Violet and Akechi, and that's all I'll say to that. Summer closer and Thanksgiving. That'd be funny. Here's a turkey and a summer unit. Enjoy. Oh, Matador is frustrating just because it's not that I hate his mechanic. It just takes too long. I don't want to sit there all day. All right, let's go back and save. We're going to get out of here and we're going to go do a pull. Blah. I'm going to try to use words because I think you guys would like to actually hear what I'm saying as opposed to like nonsense. Summer Moko. Yeah, I love Summer Moko because she also like does follow-up healing very much like Morgana does. And so anytime you can get that and not have to use the skill to do it, I think is great. Pulling Haru is mandatory because it's Haru. I mean, that's the answer. There was one fight where you had to fight a bunch of Arahabaki in Palace 2. That fight, Joker, was pretty bad for me. Forced me to actually go through and figure out a better team. Yeah, I mean, some people just want to steamroll with a single team. And again, I don't hate on anyone's playstyle. That's not who I am. But I personally just like that I have to think about different teams. Okay, best OG Phantom Thief. So I'm going to give you a couple answers because they do different things. So my favorite, and I'm going to get technical here, Violet's not a Phantom Thief. She never actually joins the team. So I can't say her, but she is probably one of the best single target damage dealers in the game. Queen, and she comes out really soon. Queen is phenomenal in this game. Her nuke damage, first of all, she's the first nuke damage dealer. That's specific. So Leo is a supporter. He's not damage. So she's the first nuke damage dealer. And if you get a lot of elemental affinities or ailments on the enemy, then she does multiple hits. And at this stage in the game, when she comes out, nobody can hit harder than her. So she is absolutely incredible. And plus it's Queen. Then you have Haru. And I would say Haru for the fact that she's AoE. Especially if they launch her with the buff she got in the other servers later on, her damage is just amazing. You have to set her up properly, but if you set her up properly, she is ridiculous. So those are going to be your best of the P4 or P5 cast. Keep in mind others are supporters. So like Futaba is going to be one of the strongest recommends you get from every content creator, myself included, but she's a navigator, so she's not a damage dealer. What am I missing? How often, if at all, have they done banner reruns? Every couple months, you'll see some. They get more frequent the closer to anniversary you get. So if you don't want to pull Joker now, it'll probably be a few months. And then eventually, they do this a couple times a year where they do, the banner has like 3 blank spots and you pick from a stable of characters. It's not every character. And you can say target those 3. So you're kind of choosing who you pity into. And like they had, like for Valentine's Day, it was all females up until Violet. So it was like a cool theme one. The anniversary had a few different ones. I forget. And another one was, a whole bunch of characters. So they've done it a few times, but if you missed the character at its first launch, you probably have to wait a few months before you have another shot at the minimum. Aside from the fact that I have not got lucky and got gone lucky and got Joker, I've gotten quite a few different really good pulls that are not related to Joker. Yeah, you can build great teams without Joker. He's not mandatory. Yeah, Futaba is fantastic. She's just not like your main damage dealer. Should I take 2 copies of An or Ryuji and Morgana? I would go with more units versus copies. Only thing I dislike about the elemental focus is that it can make the early game very rough for having to build so many units. Yes, you do have to consider your resources. And that's why, let me show you my teams. So my teams right now are primarily focused around cattle because I can use it in multiple teams. So he is my sustain. I built Closer up to level 30 because you have to use her on the Palace 1 boss. It's not optional. And so I wanted my version. I want it to be better. So I will probably not level her so much anymore unless I want to use her in Velvet Trials. Navigators I always build. So you can see they're both being built. And then I have Joker as 1 damage, On as the other. And because I pulled Key, I built him for my fire team. That's all I've built. I have all these other characters. So the only reason she's level 2 is she was, when you do your free pull, you know how they force you to level somebody up? Well, there you go. She got 1 level. It was either that or maybe she was in my team long enough to get 1 level, but I didn't like intentionally try to level her. Ones I would level. Soy, regardless of palaces, he's getting leveled. Leo, he can be used in the end game today in other servers. So he's a good one to level. Rin for Joker. And then I'll level these two eventually. Just depending on when I get them and get Leo and stuff. I'll be skipping most of the others for leveling. So yeah, you don't have to level everybody. But when you do level them, the other thing to show you is like up here. So if you click on your star, you can see I already got the level 20, level 30. But up to level 50, you get gold cards for certain levels. So when you get yourself in a bit more of a surplus, just know that you're going to eventually want to get people to 50 to get all of your gold cards. Oh, that's kind of funny. I didn't realize she was automatically leveled up to 35. I took that boss out at 30. So there you go. You don't even have to level closer if you don't want to. So thank you for that tip. Yeah, so those are my 2 team comps. So I kind of accidentally answered your question. Team 1 you've been seeing is currently Joker, Cattle, and I have Closer in there just because I need somebody else and I don't have a good buffer. If I'm not using Closer, I'd probably just put On in there. And then my other team is On, Key, and Cattle because that's your fire team, just as it is. And you sub in the Navi either that you want, or Puppet is your sustain, and Okeon is your DPS puppet or your DPS Navi. You 100% the Palace. Yeah, that last Elagor is tough. He is tough. You get 50-50 loss selectors. So when you get, by the time that banner comes out, we already had the 110. And so I would recommend, if you're doing that one, to do the 110. So that way when you focus one of them, you're guaranteeing you're going to get one. Pushing 30 takes a bit, but I'm in love with... Yeah, this gacha is fantastic. Push mementos. A lot of people don't realize how much XP is in mementos. What do I do if I don't have the second navigator? Just use the one that you have. You're eventually going to pull Puppet. It's going to happen. So there's nothing wrong with using Okeon. She's great for this stage of the game. Until we get Phoebe, you don't really get a better selection choice anyways. Yeah, too late for me now, but I'm glad that could help others. Yeah, I would close. Summer Closer's great. Yeah, definitely check her out. Friends ranks in Velvet Trials. Oh, that's a good question. Let's look. Actually, no, we will look, but let's do this poll first because I promised. So I've not done my selector. I've finished my 50 pulls. Reason being is, again, I'm trying to get another 5-star here. So like if this 5-star gave me Ryuji, I don't want to pick him from the selector. I'd go and pick Mona. So that is why I haven't used that yet. But I want to get one more 5-star and hopefully get Leon on the way. So let's do this. Give me some sparkles. Nope, that is a 4-star. Just be Leo, please. Another Mont. I keep getting her. Oh well, okay. Well, once I get 3 more gold cards, I can do another pull. But let's go put her duplicate in really quick. I love getting duplicates on characters I'm not building. Feels amazing. Oops. There we go. All right, so what did I say I was going to show? Oh, we were going to go check out the Velvet thing. So Velvet Trials, I'm in the wrong one, as always. I do that every single time. So in here, you can go to rankings. I know that. I don't know if you can filter it to friends, though. CA Goose is killing it in here. I don't know if it's the same Goose that comes in chat, but maybe. I don't... Does anyone know if you can filter this to... Oh, yeah, I just hit level 30, Lunix. I haven't actually put in my third persona. That's a good call out. I forgot to do it after I hit 30. But that kind of goes to tell you how you don't have to stress about it just yet. The stuff in these modes are just not that hard yet to care. But yes, you could technically get better if you actually filled out your third persona slot. I want to see if I recognize anyone's names. Yeah, I don't see a place, and I might just be overlooking it, but I don't see a place where I can look and see friends. What is part 1? Oh, that's the second fight. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. Costumes is only a couple. So you get a summer costume. Now keep in mind you have to pay for them. They have a gacha mechanic to most of them. You get summer Ren. So at the summer event, like when we get summer Moko, you get Chinese New Year, and you get a butler skin for Joker at the anniversary that you can try to gacha into, and you get a Makoto, the Persona 3 Makoto main character, a butler costume for him. So there's not many. Yeah, exactly. They're holding Leo hostage. A slight nitpick that I have about P5X is a lot of new Phantom Thieves are better in the game, have really weird code names. Yeah, Cattle I don't get. The Soy one, it makes sense for his story though. If you haven't gotten there, you'll get there and it'll make more sense. It's kind of fun. I'm not sure how it localizes, but it was fun when I read it in the KR. Yes, one of my pulls was 3-4 stars. McDonald. Tomoko was one of them. Oh, is that you at rank 10? We gotta go to about Azure. Dude, look at you. Freaking guys, we got Azure in chat, ranking it up to 10, being a badass. Perps is higher in there. Where is Perps? I know he was, I don't know if he's on part 2 maybe. I don't know, but yeah. I know Perpliopoulos likes to do this stuff. Yes, you have to be level 30 for Palace 1. Rank 450. I haven't even done it yet, so I'm rank not even trying. The one I'm the most is Wind as a code name. What seeds are the best to grow early? I honestly don't really do the cooking and stuff. Maybe I should, so I can't answer that because I forget that it's a mechanic in the game like every day. Rank 1 star, 2 star. So you can rank up to different levels. So like here's 1 star. This is where we all are right now. And then it goes all the way to 8. And you get there by being a certain, doing so well each week. It's really easy to get like rank 6. And you tend to get more, maybe even rank 7. Rank 8 is more of like you're really pushing for it / possibly whales. Yeah, it's a gacha mechanic for the Chinese New Year. So it's like, picture a screen, and on the bottom there's like 12 things you can win, and at the top is his outfit, and you get a ticket that I think they give you 1 ticket for free, and you roll with it, and it's random what it stops on, and the probability of his costume is just significantly less than anything else in the track. You can technically get it on a single pull. A couple people I believe have, but it's really hard. It's like getting a 5-star character on a single ticket pull, so it's not easy. And then, whatchamacallit, you buy more tickets with the gems that you would use for like pulls. So that's why I don't have it. Blades of Fur has that as his Wonder outfit right now. So if you ever look at his videos in battle, he's actually rocking it, and it's a freaking sweet costume. Now, do you think I'll be kicked out? No, you're not going to get kicked out before the rewards. I wouldn't worry about that. Oh, you mean rank 1% up here? That's a good question. I don't know. It's hard to say. It depends on how tryhard some people are being right now. Sorry, I thought he just meant like, is he not going to get these rewards? You'll get these rewards. But yeah, to be in the top 1%, I mean, and keep in mind though, you're only missing out 250 of these blue coins. It's not like you're going to lose much if you're kicked out. But I don't know. It depends on if you got a bunch of whales that are going to try to push you out. Impossible to say, though. Some gear work since your last attempt. Nice. What should you focus on stamina? I would push and finish your personas first. That's what I like to do. So you're talking about Realm of Repression. Oh, this was the icon, by the way, I was talking about. So I like to focus on these when they open up, but making sure you get this done each week. Once these are done, you kind of look at it from a priority standpoint. Like, are you low on a specific material? Like, are you going to level somebody and you need more irises? Then I would focus there. If you kind of have everybody where you want them to be, then what I like to do is I go into my bag and I go to my materials. And so like right now I feel pretty good about my XP books. I wouldn't go farming those. I've been farming the iris, so I don't worry about that. No, I just did a bunch of mementos, which is also why some of this is higher. This seems like a lot, but I might want to start thinking about my skill incenses. But I'm doing okay on resources. And so if I'm doing okay on resources, I focus more on irises and crystals because those were my biggest bottlenecks when I, was doing level ups in KR. I do need to go fight that boss before I forget though. Guys, I'm going to fight my weekly boss fight. Fair warning, this is the boss that you fight in the palace. So if you don't want to see what that character looks like, I'm going to give it about 3 minutes before I click on that button. So I want to be conscious of spoilers. I try not to get too spoilery. It's hard not to have some spoilers in the live stream, but I'm giving this as your like 3-minute warning that I'm about to go fight that boss. What else do we got here? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like Ethereal restart outfits for the robot. You got to spend currency on them. I don't think they've ever given one for free. I don't have an outfit for him, so I'm guessing there's not for free. Should we save standard brand tickets for better units? I would save them if you don't really need anything. I'm just being selfish and trying to get Rin and Leo. And so I'm going to do one more 5-star pull, and then I'm going to be done with that banner until at least Miriam. What are the account level story progress walls after 30? I don't remember. Palace 2 might be 60 or maybe 50 in that range, but I don't rightly remember. It's been a long time since I ran that palace. What content is it? I don't know what that question is for Uppy or Uphill. If you don't mind just kind of maybe specifying what screen I was on, I can try to answer that. I'm top 450 and top 1%. Yeah, I think like early game 2, you're going to get a lot of people that try it and then either don't try for a better score before the 2 weeks are up, or they just leave the game. And so it's probably going to be easier being the higher ranks early in the game's life cycle. There's probably also bots right now. So that's the kind of stuff that you won't have for you later. So when you start getting to like rank 6, 7, 8, then your top competitors are probably actually far more legit and are going to be stiffer competition. So that's when I think that those top buckets of percentages are harder. But like I said, they don't give you a ton of extra rewards for being up there, which I like about that. So I don't feel bad just landing where I land. I'm more concerned about getting to, I think it's rank 5 is when you get the max gems, and then the further ranks don't give you any more gems. So that's really kind of what I focus on. And honestly, I say focus, you just kind of get there. Like I've never actually had to try to get there. Oh, Max, start the war. I mean, Koro best dog. So how do you beat that? But take Teddy's perversion out, and I like his character until he becomes a human. I like all the mascots. They're all a little weird and they all get a little annoying sometimes, but I mean, I'm biased towards Teddy because I'm a bear, so there you go. Only difference is the coins is about all you get. So yeah, just don't feel too bad. It's more about the bragging rights and like the little, icons or whatever, the character portrait wheel looking thing. Recommended level for second fight. Second fight of what specifically? Sorry, I'm not following that question. If you mean second palace fight, it's the recommended level is whatever they gate you to. So if it's 50, go 50. If it's 60, go 60. You can always make the fight easier on yourself if you level up a bit more. But I will tell you that I personally have more fun trying to go at it at that level. Like for the heck of it, I don't know that I can beat this boss at level 38 with level 30s where they are now, but we're going to try it. No one wants to see what the dude looks like. No one wants to see him more than once, but we have to get the rewards. All right, so I'm going to go now. Mikey just left the chat, so we got 10 minutes to beat him. So for you, Mikey, we're going through this. I am going to click on this button. It's been more than 3 minutes. I I will come back to chat after I do this fight. So here's who I'm going to bring. And I need a third now, so actually her. Thank you for reminding me I could actually equip my persona now, because I legitimately wasn't paying attention to that. He's weak to lightning. We'll take Joker. This team is fine for what I have. I could try it with an on-team too, but he's weak to electric at certain points. Oh crap, I'm on auto. I don't know that this team would auto this at this level. All right, so he's level 38, so he is definitely higher than me right now. This may go very poorly. Nice dodge. I'll take the dodge. I wouldn't be surprised if Palace 2 is 60. I just can't remember, to be honest with you. All right, I'm going to pay attention so I don't mess up my rotations here, because I'm not focused well enough at the moment. Plus, it's after 11 o'clock for me, and I'm an older bear. So I definitely I definitely get sloppy on my late night streams compared to how I was earlier in the day. Would it be possible to reach max level before Palace 2, like level 80? Ooh, without stamina refreshes would be the question. I mean, if you just delay fighting the final boss, yes, you could get to level 80. I don't think it's a practical thing though. It's not that it can't be done. It's that I think you'd probably have to not only burn all your stamina pots, you'd have to buy more. The grind from 70 to 80 is real. And so I think from that perspective, I wouldn't think it's practical. You just targeted him down. That's a loss. Wow, he just said no to cattle. Probably 60 for the calling card. Let's do a little bit of leveling. I don't even know if I have the max level. Let's try to push that to 35. So we were bringing... Let's go Joker first. I don't even have the mats unless I have conversions. I can convert some. All right, let's get him to 35. Minus. I don't really want to over level it. Okay, I got enough for that. Let's bring you to 35. Oh, God, I'm not clicking the right button. Okay. It refreshes with gems or cap daily. Let's say, yeah, I would struggle to see how you could get to 80 right now. I don't want to say it's completely impossible because I'm not actually trying it, but I definitely think... Oh, I didn't even bring him to 30 on this one. That was something special. I don't want to bring his weapon to 35 yet, but I do want to get him up. See, I'm going to run out of these too quickly, so I got to be careful here. Should I bring closer to 35? Maybe. Do this. Okay, let's go back and do Wonder's weapon. Getting low. You're going to 40, just because I don't want to think about you later. So that was Joker. Cattle, I didn't do his weapon. I don't really, because she's probably going to be in this fight for a while, I might just take her to 35 as well. I don't really want to put a ton of resources into her because I know that I'm going to drop her. But 35, and I mean, I guess I'll eventually bring her to 50, so this isn't wasted. But there's just other people I think would be of more priority before I care about getting her to 50. Oh my god, I never brought her weapon to 30 either. I mean, I guess I was trying to do this on hard mode. Yes. I mean, that was a decent power spike. Let's see how that does before we do anything else. I got Joker and Rin reroll, pull honorary G. Oh, I think I answered that one. So that one I was saying that you should go for width. I would do more characters versus A1ing characters as a kind of default. Max, good night. Thank you for joining today. Think about reaching max level before Palace 2 boss becomes available for global because I thought you would need to be that level. No, you don't have to be level 80. Yeah, horizontal investment's what I push for. Okay, can we do it this time? Basically, just don't target down cattle, dude. Like, that was rude. Nice crit. And a nice dodge. He really does not like cattle. He's like, I'm just going to punch you in the face every time I see you, Owl. Palace 1 boss has the irrational fear of owls. Yeah, exactly. An owl pecked him in the face when he was younger and, you know, he just never forgave it. Who does like cattle? I do. I mean, I feel like they're trying to make him a little bit too much like Morgana, but I don't know. Like, at least they have their fun interaction in the side content in the P5 collab, where I think it's like that kind of meta joke that they know it. Was that enough to kill? Thank you. I'm just pretty sure I don't have 4 stack shit. Let's see. He doesn't have his debuffs up anymore. Prefer cattle over Teddy. Yeah, this guy hates owls and women. That's true. I just wish Teddy was less of a pervert, is what it comes down to. I have fun with his puns. Like, it's endearing to me. I should probably throw a heal on her. Because, as you said, he hates women, and so I'm undoubtedly going to get punched by... He really does hate cattle. You jerk. All right, he's focusing... Yeah, and see, then he's going to focus down closer. Yeah, you are not wrong. Maybe this is Teddy's alternate form, because this guy also wanted to escort the women. Tell me this. So Chunky, if Teddy couldn't talk, do you think he'd be nightmare fuel? Because if you went into the TV world and that bear came after you and tried to do anything, even with good intent, tell me you wouldn't like freak out. Like, I'd be like, what the heck is going on here? His voice was a little annoying, but you can fix that with the voice actor. Does he? Okay, he gets to go. Maybe we can get more out of part 2 fight. That one's Dracula than my part 1 score. Just double check. I mean, it sounds like you already have, considering where you are, but I'm assuming obviously that you're going with the stated mechanics, because that's how you're going to boost your score the most in SOS and guild trials. I think some people go in there and just try to brute force it and don't realize that there's like an actual score multiplier for doing certain things. And I have to double check. I think it was something like you couldn't crit, but if you hit them with elemental weakness, you got more points. And so you may have to like sub in certain personas to do. Did he just get an extra skill on a guard? Thank you so much. That was so not useful, Joker. Let's do this. Can I get... Oh, you didn't get the mark on there? Oh, he did. Okay, that's what I wanted, was the debuff. I hate Teddy's very existence. That's fair. Look, you know what? You don't have to love him. I'm not mad at that. Their issue with part 2. Finds one dramatically lower than part 1. Oh, that he goes very heavy damage reduction for a turn. Yeah, I'll have to, because I haven't pushed it yet. So I still need to kind of get in there and see. That is not a good persona for that. I'll have to get in there and see. I haven't looked at that fight, to be honest with you. Let's see. What does she do for her? Psi damage. Or I know she gives me attack. I want this. I never hated Teddy. This is new for me. Oh, so you have to waste a turn for that damage. Can you time your DPS rotation to use like a rebuff during that time? Because a lot of times too, what is good for the SOS and guild bosses is the time when you're doing your buffs and debuffs around windows like that. So then when he comes out of that, you do like a nuke phase. Oops, no, she needs a guard. And I don't know, again, I just haven't done this boss yet to know one way or the other. It might not be possible. And it also depends on your characters. I mean, unless you have absolutely everybody. Disruption reduces defense and gives another debuff apart from the 33 defense, so it's good for Joker. When do you hit the first 80 free pulls for pity in your account? When do you hit the first 80 free pulls? I don't know exactly, because we did get 10 free pulls as like a mail thing. And at this point, you would have gotten a couple from the daily logins for the event, but not many. And the rest is all converting gems. So I guess it depends on how hard you're pushing gems would be the real answer. But I have bought some stuff, and so I'm not a fair assessor of that because I would have had more pulls than anyone who's just being free to play. Only missing Mona. Yes, you're not missing anyone particularly valuable that's like has a more mandatory thing about them. I mean, Mona's off-turn healing would allow you to apply Winded, but I don't think that'd be like something you want to chase for the sake of the score. I don't need... Oh, yeah, I do need to heal. Put that on close. I know she's got a fat shield, but I'd rather play it safe right now. This boss is so gross. They did not hold back on that design. Thank you. I can finally use him again. I was having a guard before. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I didn't have like a more precise answer for you. Don't have much in the way of revelation cards. Yeah, I mean, because you open it at what, level 35, I think? And you're just kind of... Because I wouldn't recommend farming them right now. And so you're going to be more stuck to just whatever drops, like in Mementos, for example. This dude is creepy as hell. Yeah. Does he have... He needs his defense down again. Alright, what are you weak to right now? Nuke and lightning. Perfect. You need to give a heal. This is the phase I'm worried about because this is where being underleveled can be dangerous. There we go. Okay, I'm safe. I just didn't want him being buffed up doing the move he does if you don't do that. Azur's going to farm him out. Do your thing, man. Do your thing. Defense down is on there. Let's try to get this going. See if we can get some damage on him right here. Does he have shock? He does have shock. Perfect. I would save your golden tickets unless you're like me. Like I'm trying one more 5-star pool, so I'm going to go for one. But I would save them for when there's some better people in that standard banner. Oh, yes. Perfect time to get that. Yeah, don't farm until gold. I don't know that I'm going to farm cards probably until at least level 70. And maybe we'll start doing some in level 60 if I feel like my other resources are in a good spot. But I just don't want to get a whole bunch of purple cards and like 1 gold. Like it feels bad. Darn, I couldn't blitz through him on that one. Yep, still weak to those. I don't think I have anyone for that on him though. All right, so let's buff up Joker. Different kinds of debuff reductions can stack as long as they're not the same one. Like you can't like keep throwing Raccoonda on there and expect like 15 Raccoondas up here. But like my markdown, my defense down, I could have Wind Stack or Wind Fear, whatever they call it in this game, in this version. Like you can get all those. So you can actually get quite a few different kinds of defense debuffs going, which is really cool. Joker will never be in the standard pool. So characters are always either a limited character. Oh God, he's running low on SP. This is the one bad thing about Cattle is he does have SP management issues. So characters are either limited or they move to standard. All of your P5 cast is limited, so don't expect any of them to go into the standard banner. This is about to be bad, I think. But like as characters come out, if you read, thank you. If you read the banner info, it'll tell you if they're going to move to standard. And if not, just even if you go for 30 seconds, you can pop into probably any content creators inevitable, what's it called? Should you pull /build guides, and we'll tell you. Like I'll tell you for all the characters going forward. I'll make sure to make that a point to tell you. He does not have shock. Winded, yeah. Or it's Windswept in this version is what it is. Winded is the KR version. Actually, no, it got retranslated to custom, which... So when I tell you that like it can be a pain to try to translate the other version, it's stuff like that where it's, it's just weird translation sometimes. Yeah, somebody gave 5 gift subs or gift memberships earlier, which is phenomenal. So yeah, it's cool that you got that. The buffs from the Thieves' Den are always active regardless of whether or not they are on display. Yeah, the fact that somebody gifted subs was insane to me. Like, I call it subs. I'm not sure why. It's memberships. And like some people gave super chats. Like today has been an insane day for me as a, fun content creator who's doing this just to, bring value to a community. Like it's insane. Got everyone but Ren on the beginner banner. Oof. I mean, you still got good pulls then. But yeah, I mean, I would love to have a Ren right now. Just got to rank 742. Haven't even done the Pepsi Man part of the stage. Yeah, he does look like Pepsi Man, doesn't he? That's a good catch. Am I missing out much for not pulling Joker? No. There's actually a lot of people that have played the other version that are actively avoiding Joker and just going with the on team. Is he good right now? Absolutely. He's going to be your best AoE damage dealer at the moment because of his extra churn mechanic. As you can see, was very helpful in me clearing out those side people in this battle. And so he's absolutely good. I'm not going to tell you he's not good, but he is not mandatory. But when he's your only limited character in the game, you know, they're going to make him do something at this stage of the game. The ability to change time of day. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know why they don't have that. You can go do the band minigame whenever you want. Because you're saying you're not the right time of day. I see. Because you're not at school, so you can't do it at night. I get what you're saying there, buddy. Nice. So that's done. I should probably burn my stamina actually, so I don't forget. Let's get ourselves a persona. Level 33. That's fine. Let's actually put personas in. This team is fine. We'll let this go on auto. Let's see. How do I get to the 3rd floor of the club in the first palace? It might be one of the vents. Check your map and look for, like, if you see like a, you know, a room, like a square, and there's a like little like path coming off it, like a small path, it means it can lead somewhere else. It doesn't always lead to the same floor. So there's a couple. Off the top of my head, I'm not good at memorizing maps like that. So another thing you can do too is run your sight, the thing that like changes the screen and lets you like outline things, and run around a room and see if you have like a highlighted vent. A team you can run that's all Phantom Thieves. I mean, outside of a generic do it for fun. Oh, good, I got him. Joker's best units are not P5 units, so no to him. Haru's best unit is Summer Moko and potentially Cord. Violet wants Cord. She's not a Phantom Thief, though. Fox likes Cherish and the girl who I can't think of her name, so he doesn't like a P5 team. Queen wants Vino. I mean, yeah, if you're talking what is their best units to run with them, none of the teams are striking me as particularly P5R or Persona 5 only teams, Phantom Thief teams, to be specific. Should I use Leon over Mona in my Joker team? It's Rin, Joker, Mona. If you don't need sustain, that would be fine because he can buff your attack. But if you need sustain, then you're gonna have to have Mona or Cattle, or potentially Soy if you have him. The first one that Merope wants is a Jack Frost with Lucky Punch. So when you fuse him, just make sure you equip Lucky Punch. Yes, Palace 2 you can only do half of right now. The next patch, which should be in the next couple of weeks, will have the second half. Ryuji with the ladies. There you go. There's your answer. Oh, is it just the boss that they cap you at for Palace 2? I thought for some reason it was before them, but I'm in the part like in between when we do the story, so I haven't hit the hard cap, but that's cool if you can get all the way to the boss. Just got Haruna. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, if you want a 3rd floor, watch this video. I don't think I have links enabled. I'm sorry, Myth. I'm not sure. Okay, so we did the dude. What have I not done in here? I haven't. Oh, I reset this one because this one I did one as a lot lower level. This is level 45. Curse and Fire. Let's just run it. Curse and Lightning. Curse and Lightning. Okay, so I'll need this team. Not him. It was Fire, Curse, Lightning, Fire. I don't think I've built anyone for Fire, nor do I feel like doing so. Let's run it with Yanosek. I might as well keep her. I don't really care. Yeah, what level does it ask to? Oh, yeah, it may not ask yet for the calling card. I wonder, does it ask, or is it just saying wait for the content? Can we auto this so I can read chat? The Palace 2 boss, the reason he's rough is his phase 2 and his phase 4 maybe is very much, if you don't do the mechanic, you will wipe yourself if you're at level. Obviously, you can over level and power yourself to the point it doesn't matter. But if you are doing it at level for fun, then the mechanic matters, very much so. You just have to wait for the content. Okay, okay. Gotta print those cards. I actually think the fight is fun when you first play it. Leaving this on auto might be a very bad idea because I'm going to get wiped on my health here, and it's probably not going to be optimizing my highlights like that because I should have used a cattle highlight there just to top off before the next fight. Yeah, and the other thing with the damage in that fight is he can target something that can really mess you up. Like if your healer gets targeted in a certain phase, it can really do something nasty for you. And when I did that fight, I had Miriam, and it was tough. Low to mid spender guides and currency vids have really been helpful trying to make heads and tails of it all. You're welcome. And if you have other questions about it, especially because I'm in game right now, I can show you. So don't hesitate to ask something. I am going to log off here relatively soon because it's almost midnight. And my kids are not going to be like, oh, you stayed up late. Let me not get up early. I have every expectation of being up before 7 a.m. Oh, closer takes the L. That might be the death kill here. Auto battle is not always your friend. Can I do this with Joker having no health? Donate so I stay longer. Do not donate for that, guys. You don't have to donate at all. I'm not doing this for a, make money situation. I have a normal sounds inappropriate. I have a corporate job that pays the bills. I'm not worried about money from YouTube. I did the trick. I have a good grasp on now, but if something comes up, I'll be sure to ask. Yeah, feel free. Feel free. Auto battle's your friend because you're lazy. That's the best reason for an auto battle until Joko takes an L. Because Wonder is not going to beat this one. Almost 2 a.m. Okay, so you're East Coast, Jeddah. Thank you for that heal when the people I need most are dead. Yeah, cattle, solo him. If I didn't have the corporate job, but I could be a full-time content creator, you guys have no idea. That would be a dream. But I have 3 kids. Now, one's out of the house, but it doesn't mean I don't support him. And we took on an exchange student last year, and he may come back this year. And so, oh my God, let's take this off auto and see if I can do this. I doubt it because I'm like too low. I may have to reset again. But I could also just level my characters. That would be the smarter play. Closer's over there taking a nap. But yeah, so the amount I would have to make to take care of my family just would not, it's not a reasonable, oh, I can just, start streaming every day and rely on YouTube AdSense, like, which is fine. Again, I'm not worried about that. Oh, what would be the best way to do this guy right now? If Joker doesn't die, he needs to hit hard. The exchange student can translate. I'll outsource him to, should I just do that one? I'll outsource him to become a permanent translator and then make my money that way. I miss my exchange student. Oh, come on. Don't hit him. Go for someone else. Ah! If I can get them to not kill Joker, I might have a chance. You see, if they didn't already have the Teddy mascot, maybe there would be a chance that I could be one. But I don't think they're going to go bear in multiple. Maybe, you know what it is, guys? I didn't want to reveal this because I know a lot of voice actors came out and said they're not in Persona 4, the rewind. I am Teddy's aged up version. So you know how he looks now? I'm just his senior citizen version. I should just push him. So yeah, I'm in Persona 4 Rewind as fast forward Teddy. I do ride a motorcycle, so yeah, you know, Teddy's got that going for him. Grandpa Teddy, exactly. Joker, stay alive. Okay, we have a small chance of hope here. Make the kids the editors. So my youngest son has a YouTube channel, which is wild to me. I mean, he's not like focused on it necessarily, but he absolutely has one. The whole reason I have a YouTube channel is because he wanted me to do Minecraft videos with him. Secret to part 2. Yeah, I want to get there so I can look at it. I need to not die or not be stubborn and actually level up my characters. It's not that I can't. I have the materials for it. I'm just being stubborn and trying to do it under leveled. Clearly, I'm not going for score right now. Oh, I should have done the heal. What was I doing there? Reading chat as always. Food buff might give you the edge. Interesting. Okay. Oh, okay. Wonder's down. We're going for the intentionally disadvantaged route, clearly. Can I take one of you out? That would be helpful. Yes, thank you. The least effective all-out attack you'll ever see. Just the two of them. But what does Schema Stat apply only to Wonder? No, it's just Wonder. It's like his skill tree. Oh, good. Nice dodge. Oh, that was nice. I love that. I actually think the story gets better each palace. No, I got a shield. I'm going to try to get him on burn. And then you don't burn. Hey, you don't look so good. Yeah, I've got 2 people dead. I definitely don't look good. You don't need Joker. I mean, if you're already pulling for him, go for him. Oh, okay, you're on 33 or 35. I see. Yeah, keep going for him if you're going that far. I can't believe I actually beat that, to be honest with you. Just considering I'm not leveled all the way for it, and I took those early levels. Okay, so second stage. What do we have here? At the start of battle, allies gain 2 Seal of Power stacks. After dealing weakness damage to foe, they gain 1 more stack. At the end of turn, lose 1 stack. You know who's actually good here is Ryuji. At the end of the turn, lose 1 stack, and then you gain stable domain. What are their stable domain right now? Yeah, so oh no, Ryuji wouldn't be good here because he can't. So you can't crit here. So even though he's physical, that doesn't help because Ryuji can't do his big mechanic. He'll still hit hard. He just won't be guaranteed crits. So you want to hit weakness damage. So that's going to be wind. So Mona would be good here because you can apply Windswept while giving damage. and then use your healing for off-turn healing. So you're hitting weakness there. I'm actually debating if I think Ryuji may still be good here. If I had him right now with Leon, I would consider a Leon, Ryuji, Morgana team. Just knowing that I can't crit. I would be curious how that would go because Ryuji still gets buffed up damage when he's lower on health. He just won't have auto crits. So a little bit handicapped. And then I would just cover the ice with a persona. Yeah, let's check what those teams look like. That's a good point. What are people using? Oh, nice. They're using Ryuji. Guys, I'm going to turn my light off because it's hurting my eyes. So, sorry, it's going to get a little dark here in here. Number one team. Oh, Fleuret. Yeah, Fleuret, duh. Sorry, that makes perfect sense. I don't know why I didn't think about him. He would be your best damage dealer there. See, Ryuji can be useful. I told you guys. Like, don't sleep on Ryuji. I'm just happy that I thought of him without looking at this first. I like that Soy's in there. That's a good pick because then you get the ice, but obviously you have to have him. Well, if you're level 50, you probably have him unlocked by now. Yeah, I mean, this team and this team, and they're running Puppet for their sustain. Yeah, no one's got Okion in there. Oh, one person. Mona. Okay, so Windswept. There you go. Guys, Goro Akechi, Rock and Tomoko. I could be wrong. Interesting to see An in this fight. Because she's not hitting elemental weakness, but she is giving you burn. You got a number 11 is the full fire team. There you are. Your team is not bad. I mean, you got Fleuret. I wish I could actually click in on you and see. I guess you can't really have too much crazy builds at this stage, but I wish you could like watch this. Like in Ethereal Restart, you could watch some people's fights. Like I wish you could do that right here. Like that would be cool. You can't, right? You can get massive scores. This doesn't make sense. Yeah, he just did. Yeah, he just has a really good score there. What? That's interesting, Gavin. People are rocking the Tomoko. I love it. You love to see it. This is why you shouldn't just listen to content creators. Like people will find a way. Just look for the 16-bit bear. Just jump in Blade's Discord and just go to my guild on the top. You'll find me up there. You'll see my icon. Yeah, he hasn't done part 2, but like that's still. I mean, without doing part 2, which means he's probably gonna be number 1. Okay, my friends, it's almost midnight. I've got to go to bed. I will worry about those in a couple days. I'm not high enough level for me to push score, so I don't really care. So, you know, I'll finish all that out later. But that's it for me. Thank you for spending the time with me today. In both streams, if you're here for both, or if you just made it for the one, thank you for coming for the one. I do appreciate that. And with that, I don't know yet if I'm streaming tomorrow. I might. If I don't stream, I'll work on a video for you. And then, like I said, I've got a couple of videos I've planned that the community seems interested in for next week. So look forward to those. I'm not sure exactly what day those will launch, but you know, I do try to film as often as I can. And yeah, have yourself a wonderful night. And until our next video, please, you know, take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon.